Hey everybody, we're back on the Ultimate Realism Dynasty with the Texas A&M Aggies. Here on College Football 26, entering Season 3. And it's time to meet the roster. I'm really excited to show you guys some of these players. But first thing, I'm going to do a little bit of house management. Um, just taking a look at some of the jersey numbers of our freshmen and everything before we get ready to rock and roll. Devin Hill is awful. Um, what's up, Hollywood? I want Gillian and Gilliam to wear numbers like in the teens, not in the 90s. Gilliam will wear 18, and Gillian will wear 15. I don't think either's going to play this year, but they will be wearing those numbers for future seasons. Middle linebacker, I'm thinking number 0 for Demontre Trapuka. Take over for Scooby Williams, who previously wore the number. Maybe 20. But no, I'm liking 0. Trapuka's going to wear 0. And then Manny Hayden will also wear a cooler number. Thinking like a number in the 20s. Yeah, Manny Hayden's going to wear 23. Corners, what can we do with these guys? I think it's fine the way it is. Alrighty. Don't we have a guy available to wear number 1 on defense? Yeah, I think Gabriel's going to wear number 1 for us. And I think I'm going to have Gillen wear number 5. Alrighty, so in that short amount of time, you probably met most of the team. But anyways, we're going to go over it anyways. Quarterbacking returning for another year of college football is Eli Holstein, 6'4", 228. Obviously, this dude did not leave for the draft, and he had a nice offseason. He maxed out both his accuracy and power to their full potential, and I think he's going to be a much more disciplined passer this year than he was last year. Another year under his belt starting in the SEC. We know he began his career at Alabama, had 2 nice years at Pitt. Last year, really struggled with the turnovers, but he was a solid player overall for us. I think just he didn't have a great offensive line. This year, that's going to be better. But the thing is, he's not going to have as good of a run game to support him. Mike Hawkins returns as the backup. Hawkins, I mean, he hasn't played much since that true freshman season, all the way back in 2024. This is year 4 for him, is 2027. His accuracy could probably go up a bit, but he's just not not a good, just doesn't have good arm talent to be a guy who I rely on starting here in the SEC. Gregory Ginn, the redshirt freshman, could be something if he sticks around for us. And then the 5-star Earl Rochelle is going to be possibly the future of this roster. Only impact dev trait, but look at these maximums on accuracy and power and IQ. He's going to be a beast. Amani Ogba entered the transfer portal, but decided to return to the team to be running back one. He's going to be a beast, and he's a redshirt freshman. The offseason he had was crazy, and he's ready for a great year. DeAndre Wright in his back. Cornell Anthrop's going to have a nice role as kind of the speed back out of the backfield. And then Raphael Biggers. We're going to have some fun with the freshman from Connecticut as well. The receiving room is nice. We bring in Cordell Russell, the transfer from Miami, Ohio, who's had some nice seasons. And he's a freak of an athlete at 6'4". Russell, 93 speed, 99 spectacular catch. This guy is going to make some highlight reel plays, and he's done that the past 2 seasons. 880 yards last year with Miami of Ohio. He was their wide receiver one pretty much. And he's going to come over to A&M back to closer to where he lives, and he is going to be our wide receiver one with the departure of KC Concepcion. That's a huge, huge void that we're going to have to fill because we relied on him quite a bit. He was one of our top playmakers for our first 2 seasons. And now we got Cordell Russell, who, by the way, he's played it. This is school number 4 for him. Didn't play a snap, really, with TCU or Colorado. But then he went to Miami, Ohio, and was a very solid player. Terry Bussey is back. Bussey, I hate that this game gave him normal development because it just is so unrealistic. Like, look at the skill caps on his hands. Like, why? I mean, I get it. He's more of a gadget. Like, he plays both sides and all that. And, like, they're trying not to make him too overpowered. But, I mean, he's always just going to be this 500 to 600 yard guy, which is disappointing, but also, like, he's still good. Isaiah Williams had a great offseason. He's a guy who has not been much for us just yet. He's been our kick return specialist these first 2 years. He does have 57 receiving yards under his belt for the career. Then Tristan Norman is back. He was a part of our offense last year. Yeah, 285 receiving yards. He'll have a similar role this year. Freshman Max LaBelle, I'm going to see him play. 6'5", 195, elite development trait. Hello, the 4-star recruit. Yeah, we're going to see Max LaBelle quite a bit. And then the freshman George Mandarino, 6'5", 219. This guy can do anything. He was a gadget player in high school, very Tyler Warren-esque at 6'5", 219. He was more of a tight end in high school, like a tight end, running back, wide receiver, all over the place. I mean, he had over 400 yards, both rushing and receiving. He is going to be a primary wide receiver for us, though. Could be a tight end in the future if that's a position of need, because he's bigger than Celeste Miles, our redshirt freshman there, who's going to be splitting time with Keoti Armstrong at the position. Left tackle is the transfer Jacob Ponton. Ponton was awful last season at Texas Tech, but he comes over to A&M. Change of scenery, 6'8", 309, big boy. And best of all, he had a good offseason. Coaches report that this was the most improvement Ponton has shown from season to season yet in his career. It looks like not only is he ready to be a starter-level player again after a poor season last year, they're saying he's going to take a big jump and possibly be an NFL prospect this year. Lamont Rogers is starting at right tackle, so we'll talk about him as well. Braden Nelson's a guy who we got in the transfer portal. He will be playing it only if an injury occurs. He's coming over from Arkansas State, another transfer portal MVP. Played at North Texas the year before, was a backup. Donovan Lehman is kind of the future of the position. But anyways, Rogers, 6'6", 334, big boy, the former 5-star. Still, his face skin is messed up. But, I mean, he's been okay the past 2 seasons with us. Was a primary starter last year, got mixed in quite a bit his true freshman year. He just hasn't exactly, like the star development hasn't kicked in. Like he's only gone up like 4 overalls. He just isn't getting like a bunch of skill points. Isendre Afua was very good in his first year starting last year. He's getting the job back. You got Gideon and Hayden here who didn't have particularly good off seasons. Mark Nabu is back. He's been in the picture since year one. Got in, or yeah, and even like year one of his career. Got injured in 2024, missed most of the year, if not all of it. But other than that, he's been on the field every snap for these Aggies at the center position. Actually, coming out of high school was a guard, quickly transitioned to the middle of the O-line, and at 334, he's a big boy. J.R. Sills has elite development. He's going to get on the field quite a bit. 6'2", 303. And then A.J. Bridges was not great last year, but he's getting the go. Or no, he's going to split time with Afua at left guard, and right guard is going to be Chase Basantis, with Lamont Rogers sliding over to right tackle. We will talk about Basantis a little bit because he is our best O-lineman. Moving out from guard to tackle last year, now moving back into guard, was better as a tackle, so it's going to be interesting to see. But I believe in the guy. I mean, I think he's really good. He's talented. He's going to play on Sundays. We bring in some transfers on the D-line that are going to be fun to use. Starting off with the third string left edge rusher, Landon Rink. Rink is going to wear number 99 for us. He has not played yet this series, but he's coming in as a sophomore, 6'3", 290, very strong coming off the left side, as most left edge rushers are. Jalazen Landry is different. He's a little bit of a smaller, speedier guy. He's played at Texas State and TCU, just rising up that Texas hierarchy. He was okay the past 2 years. He's going to be in the mix for us. Not a starting role, though. And then we bring in Colton Vasek, mainly from the bad guys. He's from Austin, went to Texas his first few years, and comes over here after having a great offseason, where he'll start. Vasek didn't play at all last year, as he was buried on the depth chart behind some very talented players. Right edge, you got Solomon Williams for us. Williams has been a guy for us since year one. Hasn't really played, though. Only 2 total tackles, and both of those came in year one. Got Jaden Scarlett. Chad Woodfork is a transfer. 6'4", 230. He comes in. He's going to be in the mix. He had a very nice year at UTSA last year. Another guy who's going up the Texas hierarchy. And then you got the 5 stars, Gillian and Gilliam, and then O'Toole as well. Plenty of talent here at the edge rushing positions. Marcus Deal and Alex January man the D tackle positions. Deal was in the mix quite a bit last year as like probably our third best D tackle. He got 5 sacks. Another guy who's had TCU in his past. He had 2.5 the year before. He's expected to be a top pick. And then Alex January comes in the transfer portal from Texas. He was debating going back to Texas or coming to the good side, and he did just that. Didn't have any sacks last year in limited time, but he did play well. And then you got the usual suspects, Dylan Evans, Christian Jackson, and some other guys who have been here since day one as backups. DeMonte Trapuka steps up as our Mike linebacker. The redshirt freshman thumper from Overland Park, Kansas. I have a ton of belief in DeMonte Trapuka to be a great player over the 5-star Manny Hayden. Manny Hayden played last year, but the thing is, he's a bust. He's only got normal development. As you can see, he's got good skill caps. He just might not reach them in college. And whereas Trapuka, he's a same thing, thumper archetype, but he's faster, he's bigger, he's gonna get stronger. And that's who I'm handing this spot to. You also got freshmen like Luis Blanco, Russ Crook, who could see some time. And then I also have a lot of faith in Tristan Jernigan to take a step up. He's been on the roster since year one, but the thing is, he hasn't ever played a snap. Xavier Brown is back. He's a guy who didn't really play much for us last year. Yeah, actually, he played a decent bit. Was great at Alabama in 2025, and this year he's expected to be one of the top corners. Same thing with Brian Nelson. Great at NC State year one. Last year was kind of a backup for us, so he didn't play much. This year he's going to be great. Des Ricks redshirted last year. But year one, he was a solid little player. Didn't play too much. Same thing with Jordan Shaw. Redshirted last year. Year one was solid. And then you got Gabriel Traore, who's going to play over these two likely. The freshman with elite development trait. Redshirted last year, and he's ready to rock and roll. You've also got the five-star freshman of this year, Alani Teo, who will redshirt and be a guy soon. We had a couple corners who slotted over to like nickel safety. Javon Thomas being one of them. Javon is a guy who was threatening to transfer, and we convinced him to stay. And boy, am I glad. Because even though he has never been a starter, actually, the most playing time he ever got was probably all the way back in like his freshman season. Javon's a dog. He can play nickel corner, safety. He goes all over the field. And mainly, he had the best offseason of anybody on the team. He went up a ton. That star development trait came in clutch. And then the usual backups are here as well. We bring in Jalen Braxton, a cornerback transfer who was another like nickel guy. We're just going to slot over to a full-time safety. Started out at Ole Miss, then went to Florida State, getting better each year. Now he's here at A&M, trying to finish things out. We also bring in another safety, Rashad Johnson Jr., who had a very good offseason for us. We brought him in last year. So he had a great offseason for us. He's actually going to play over Marcus Radcliffe, who I thought was going to have a decent spot on the roster. And then we also bring back Tyler White, who should be one of the best kick punt specialists in the league with 95 kick power and 96 kick accuracy. Overall, it's time to name captains, and I think we're only bringing back one. Yeah, I think the only captain that's still on the team is going to be Basantis. Yeah, that's it. Nobody else is a captain. Alrighty. So on offense, the first guy I want to name, I think it's pretty obvious, Eli Holstein. That's our starting QB. That's our guy. He's going to be a captain on the offensive side of the football. And then I'm kind of on the other, for the other guys, I'm leaning between Terry Bussey, Lamont Rogers, and Mark Naboo. And I think I'm going to give it to Mark Naboo. I think he's going to be a captain for us here in his final season. Congratulations to him. Mark Naboo Jr. is going to be a captain. And then on the defensive side of the football, we get to name 3 new captains. Hold up, wait, what? I didn't upgrade Landry yet. Wait, what is going on? Okay, anyways, Jalason Landry is a little bit better than he was before. Thought I auto-progressed everyone. I suppose I did not. Either way, I'm looking here, and I'm not really seeing anyone deserving. Maybe Deal. I think Deal jumps out as a possible guy. Xavier Brown. Javon Braxton. I think Javon Thomas is going to be a captain for us on defense. He's going to be the main guy. And then I'm also going to name Xavier Brown a captain of the defense. And then Marcus Deal is going to get that final captain spot on the defensive side of the football. Congratulations to Marcus Deal. All right, there's the squad. That's going to be really the group here. I can go, actually what I'm going to do is we're going to go over the rest of the nation, see some of the best players and mainly the starting quarterbacks, because that's where the transfer portal is most active and that's where the most moving around happens. We do have an update to our prospect video. Julian Sayin, who initially planned to enter the transfer portal from Ohio State after a 50-touchdown season and a 35-touchdown year the year before that, withdrew his request to enter the portal and instead has declared for the NFL draft. So Sayin becomes one of the top prospects in an even more loaded group. taking a look at some of the top guys, some of the starters for some other teams across the league. Blake Barnett is the new starter at Texas Tech. He started a bit at Kansas State last year. He was okay. Why do I feel like Brock Lowry's been good in this? He's been solid, very solid for Toledo. Jeremy St. Hilaire, and then Deuce Knight was a big transfer. Caden Samanza kind of gets screwed over. Even though he's been bad, he's been quite awful at Tulane. Deuce Knight comes over to Tulane, and immediately they become one of the favorites to make it to the playoffs. Knight is a great, and I mean great player. The redshirt sophomore with a good year could immediately become one of the top prospects in this year's draft. You got some guys like the redshirt freshman Kevin Likely. UAB is super excited about this fella. Likely is a guy I'm excited to watch as well. Just a 3-star, but he already looks like he could be a beast in the group of 5 and lead them to a playoff spot. UCLA is in shambles. They're ranked, but they're starting a 60 overall, a 66 that is. So good luck to them, I guess. Marcel Reed finds himself at USC. Malachi Nelson, transfer portal MVP. This is his 5th different stop, or his 5th stop at his 4th different school, back where it all began at USC, only to be a backup behind Money Marcel. Love to see it. Jake Merklinger and Raquan Barber and Emory Williams is a fun room at USF. George McIntyre starting at Utah. Okay, never mind. Anyways, it's good to see Marcel Reed actually playing for a good team, as he kind of fucked himself at Arkansas last year. Even though he was just as good as he was with us. He's starting for the best team in the country and the reigning national champions now. I think he could easily be a top quarterback in the draft. Tyler Virgin, a redshirt freshman starting for Utah State. A lot of redshirt freshmen getting the go. Evan Bullock from UTSA, who sat on the bench last year after a very bad year 1 at Louisiana Tech. James McCauley is starting at Washington. He backstabs Washington State, goes to their rivals. That's going to be a fun matchup when those two schools face off. Alabama is rocking with the redshirt freshman George Yancey. And oh my God, this guy is an absolute demon. Redshirt freshman. We're talking Johnny Manziel level talent here in year 1 as a starter. 95 speed, 96 throw power, 99, 94, 97 accuracy. This dude was made in a lab. George Yancey. Oh my God. Then you get Michael Van Buren to be your backup. He's at his 3rd stop in the SEC. He started in reserve of an injured Garrett Nussmeier 2 years ago and looked good. Even though his team was bad, he looked pretty good. He's a very solid backup for the Crimson Tide. Tua Warrior, the freshman, getting the start for Arizona State. Don't know why I clicked on stats. This is another guy I want to talk about because he is a 4-star freshman. Very reminiscent of like Jaden Rashada when he first went to Arizona State. Hoss Haney starting at Arkansas. He was the guy we were going after to be our backup. Christian Sweat is interesting. He is going to get the go, and he's one of the highest rated 3-stars in the country, 78 overall right out the gate for Arkansas State. Luke Carney getting the start at Auburn. They are pretty depleted with the loss of Deuce Knight. Austin Mack is the highest rated QB in the nation, and for good reason. He's 6'6", 237. He's got insane accuracy and 98 throw power. When I say made in a lab, you think Austin Mack. Now, we have been unfortunate enough for him to be on the bench for 2 national championship caliber teams, Washington and Alabama, the first 3 years of his career. Then, last year, when we saw him, he was legit. 14 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1,600 yards. The problem is he got hurt, didn't play the whole year for Boise. This year, let's hope that he plays it out the whole season. because he could be a Heisman winner and the #1 overall pick. Tanner Applewhite. Why? Oh, he was at Florida State last year. He's going to be the backup for Tavian St. Clair, who's also one of the top QB prospects. The former five-star. Why am I doing this? The former five-star recruit is a guy who transferred away from Ohio State, and apparently Ohio State just powers the rest of college football with elite quarterbacks. Like, just look at it. Joe Burrow left the Buckeyes, became a great recruit, left the Buckeyes, became great. Same thing with Quinn Ewers. Same thing with Aaron Noland. Same thing with Tavian St. Clair. Like, what is going on? Tavian, and even Devin Brown became really good. St. Clair had a great year last year. I think he could be one of the top quarterbacks taken in the draft if he does declare. And if he doesn't, he's still got 3 more years of eligibility. That's crazy. Austin Simmons gets the go at Clemson. He transfers over from Ole Miss. The thing about Simmons is he's never been that good. Hasn't had a breakout year yet. He's left a lot to be desired at Ole Miss. But we saw how they were able to turn around Noah Fifita's career, and they'll likely do it again. Julian Lewis has been great this whole save. He's going to be getting the reins at Colorado again. Darian Mensah is projected to be a top pick. He's one of the winningest quarterbacks in college football, even though he hasn't really wowed you with the touchdown stats, mainly because they're just such a juggernaut team that spreads it around in the run game a lot. I think Duke is going to be a great team again this year with Darian Mensah. Florida's starting a true freshman, Brian Davey, 6'5", 176. And as a team that just went to the Natty, I don't know what to think about this, but he's also a dog. 4-star with, like, I don't know what his depth trait particularly is, but he's a beast. 6'5", 176. I think he's going to be just fine. Grayson Wilson. Why do I feel like he was somewhere else? No, he was very good at FIU last year. He's coming back. He could be a dog. D'Angelo Knox, the redshirt freshman, getting the go at Florida State. This is great to see. 6'4", 92 speed. He's going to wow some people. And then Ryan Puglisi and Adam Matthews battling it out at Georgia. Matthews has been okay at San Jose State. His best year was 2 years ago. And then Puglisi, of course, has been a backup for them all save long, and we'll see who it is. Puglisi has much better throwing stats. Like, it's not even close. Oh my God, he's 10 higher throw power. But Matthews has some awareness and some football IQ that Puglisi has left to be desired. Jaden Davis just had an insane year at Georgia State. I think he could be one of the top sleeper guys in this draft if he has a good year with the Panthers, because he was great last year. Demarcus Davis has really progressed, 6'5". He's a guy who could be great. I mean, year 2 at Hawaii was amazing for him. Coming over from UCLA, he's been a great signal caller for the Rainbow Warriors. Broughton Glenn, former Florida State guy, coming over to Houston. He'll get the go there. Bryce Baker, interesting guy here for Indiana. I like him a lot. 6'3", 211. Pretty solid player. Was at Michigan. Was that last year he was at Michigan? I know he was in the mix for the Wolverines. Yeah, last year he was at Michigan. He comes over this year. Obviously, he's not going to start over Bryce Underwood. And it sucks not even being the best Bryce on your team. But, I mean, it is what it is. You bring him in. He looks pretty good. You got Weston Bryan and James Madison, who's huge. Had a great year last year as well. I could see him climbing up draft boards. 6'3", 247. The thing is, he's still got plenty of eligibility left. Jacoby Robinson at Kansas. He's transfer portal MVP, but he was a guy who we were looking at coming out of Southern Miss. We wanted to bring him in, but Utah stole him from us, and he had a mid-year there, and now he's going to Kansas. Kansas State starting Philip Rush, the seasoned senior, who is coming over from Wyoming. I don't have high expectations for him, but he could wow some people. Micah Alejado back for Kent State. Jason Wright getting the go for Kentucky. Interesting pick here. He's not particularly mobile. And I think that's going to hurt them because his throwing stats are very shitty. I think he's going to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the SEC. Cutter Boley backstabs them, goes to Louisville. We're seeing a lot of transferring and switching of coaches within rivalries, and it's interesting to see. Boley started at Kentucky, and then he goes to Louisville because he sees that his rival school is making the playoffs, and Kentucky is kind of dog shit. Colton Joseph is back at LSU. He had a great year last year, actually. Even, yeah, way better than he ever was at Old Dominion. He's a beast. I actually think Colton Joseph could be a top pick if he puts up a good year because he's really mobile. Malik Washington is back at Maryland. He's been very, just decent at Maryland. Cameron Dyer is here. Steve Angeli's back for another year at Miami. He should be very good. Bryce Underwood has looked the part these past 2 years, and with another good year, could easily be a top pick. Luke Kromenhoek has been awful. Like last year, he was dog shit. But Mississippi State's expecting big things from him as he's one of their best players on offense. Bernard Battles, the true freshman from Missouri, I love this guy. I mean, I think he's going to be great in a few years. Second straight year from Missouri starting a true freshman. The last guy was horrible. This guy, Bernard Battles, I think he's going to be great. C.J. Bailey is back for another year. He is in this is going to be his 4th year starting. Good year 1, bad year 2, good year 3 for him. So if he follows the pattern, he's cooked. But I think he could actually be great. And at 6'6", 213 with those throwing stats, he could be really good. Connor Moberly is an interesting guy. Last year at Iowa State led them to a playoff berth. He was very good. And he goes to Nebraska, where I think he's going to succeed as well. Gio Lopez is back for year 5. Not a great career so far under Bill Belichick, but we'll just see where things take him here in this next year. How has C.J. Carr been doing? That's Dylan Witka, transfer from Minnesota. Carr has been decent. I mean, we know year 1 he got hurt. Year 2 he left some stuff to be desired, but he was still very good. Almost like a 2024 Garrett Nussmeier type player. Lots of mistakes, lots of bomb passes as well. We're going to run back up here to Ohio. And then Ohio State, they bring in both Anthony Varner and Dylan Raiola and Ashton Daniels. Daniels had a great year at UAB last year. This is his 4th school. His 4th school in 4 years. I believe it's year 6 for him. Either way, he started at Stanford for 2 years, then went to Auburn, then went where he was on the bench, then went to UAB, started and had a breakout year. Now he's going to try and build some stock. We saw how Connor Wigman was able to actually boost his stock quite a bit by being a backup at Ohio State. After a horrible year at Houston, in limited time at Ohio State, he was perfect, and he ended up being one of the higher drafted quarterbacks. Anthony Varner has another year of eligibility after this one, and he had a very good year at Penn State last year. I expect him to get on the field if Raiola is hurt immediately, and if Raiola is to leave when Raiola leaves for the draft, I highly expect that Varner is going to be the guy. Cole Welliver and Tommy Trout in this Oklahoma room. I don't think either of these guys have played before, but they're both pretty talented. Actually, Welliver played at New Mexico last year. That's right. He was horrible. But 6'7", 228. I mean, this guy, he has a rocket attached to his right arm. He's going to be insane. Elijah don't know, but he's from Wake Forest. He kind of he was awful last year, but so was the rest of his team. They started the year ranked and then went 2-10. I wouldn't really blame him, but he's going to have to step up because Ole Miss is in a weird spot. No more Lane Kiffin. They just aren't as good as they once were. Dante Moore might just be the best quarterback in this next upcoming draft. He's been insane the past 2 years. Oh my God, he's so accurate. And he also is another guy with an absolute bazooka attached to his arm. Ethan Grunkemeyer entered the transfer portal but decided to return after being promised the starting job at Penn State. You got some other guys here. Maybe we're talking about Pierce Clarkson from San Diego State. He's been bouncing around schools quite a bit. Matt Shadwick from SMU is not Jake Wakefield. Jake Wakefield is the transfer from Oklahoma. Matt Shadwick is going to get the go at SMU, and he seems like he's a very, very much improved dual threat QB. He's got a crazy arm, and he's coming over from Miami. South Carolina's QB room is not as good as it was last year, but you do have A.J. Brand, who's at his third school in 3 years. I actually really like A.J. Brand. Coming over from Connecticut, the thing about him is he's bounced around quite a bit. He's spent 3 years at 3 different schools, and if you get him to stick around, I think he could be a beast. I mean, the arm talent isn't crazy, but he's a very good player. He's going to run for a lot of yards, and with the team around him at South Carolina, he could do some things. Kamario Taylor is here, back after a solid enough year last year at Southern Miss. Austin Novosad, backup quarterback at Oregon, then another solid year last year at Stanford. Keelan Russell gets the go at TCU after sitting on the bench last year, and then the year before that, he was the third string in Alabama. Kenny Minchey and Aaron Noland are here. Aaron Noland is injured, I believe, right now, actually. He's probably going to miss a lot of the year, but we know he was possibly the best quarterback in college football last year. And then you got a guy like Minchey who comes over, not Noland. I'm trying to look at Minchey. Who didn't play last year, but year one came over and was okay at Notre Dame in reserve of an injured C.J. Carr. Demond Williams comes over to Texas. I think he's small, 5'11", 197. But if he is able to show off his skills, he could be a Bryce Young type top pick. Now to just look at some of the top players around the country and just who's good, who could get drafted really high. I know we haven't done any of the drafts yet because Madden hasn't dropped. But when we do start doing that, it's going to be really fun to follow some of these stories beyond just college football. C.J. Baxter is at his third school. He was amazing last year at Florida State. He's going to be one of the top players taken and certainly one of the top running backs. Jarrett Gibson is here at Virginia Tech. Isn't he also a former Texas guy? Yeah, so 2 former Texas guys up at the top. You'd love to see it. Harlem Berry. They did get Harlem Berry, though. Cam Cook is back at TCU after a year at Texas and a year at Jacksonville State. Was great at both those schools. Wide receiver Micah Hudson of Ohio State and DeCorian Moore, who's been elite the past 2 years at Oregon. He had a Jeremiah Smith level freshman year and led them to the national championship. Jonte Cook still exists. He's been very good these last 2 years. Congratulations to him. Jamari Johnson's a great tight end, even though he's more of a blocker type player. And then offensive lineman Elijah Page, Andrew Babaloa. DJ Chester is going to be one of the top linemen off the board. Williams Nwaneri, defensively. We got some good defensive players, but also this is kind of the spot where you see in that middle ground between all real players and a lot of these younger real players developing into veterans and a lot of the fake players taking over. Sammy Brown goes to Duke. Goes from Clemson to Pitt to Duke. He's been good at Clemson and Pitt, so I expect him to be great at Duke as well. Xavier Brown is the top-rated corner in the country. Cormani McClain goes to Georgia. Very interesting. 4 schools for him. He was great at Rutgers last year. Georgia's got a crazy secondary, as do we, yet again, just like last year. And we also have some of the top safeties because just like last year, we had some insane safeties, all of which will be drafted in the top rounds. Taking a look at the schedule, I'm excited. Week 1, we play against Clemson in the Aflac kickoff game. We were 9-4 last year. They were 10-3. But the funnest part is they're going to be breaking in new quarterback Austin Simmons. And we know Austin Simmons because he played at Ole Miss for 2 years. They're breaking him in. They also lost, I think, 5 elite wide receivers to the draft. Very interesting to see what Clemson does at number 12. We're number 13. Then we get our revenge at Arizona State. Can we beat them? No Sam Levitt. No Jordan Tyson. No Cam Scatabo. The Arizona State juggernaut of the last 3 years is over. We're going to go into their place and hopefully beat them. Then we got a bye week. Then we go to South Carolina up against the Lenore Sellersless Gamecocks, but they're still ranked inside the top 5. They were inches away from being SEC champions last year. Then we have a weird game at New Mexico. We should crush these guys, but on the off chance we don't, I might be on the hot seat. Then we have a crazy stretch again. We play, oh my God, we play 5 of the top 7 teams. That's insane. We do host Georgia, we host Florida, we host Arkansas, and we host Alabama. When we go to Mississippi State, we go to Ole Miss, and then we host an FCS opponent, and then we end the year with the Lone Star Showdown against Texas. Finally, on our home turf for the first time since 2024. All right, we're going to advance to the season and see what all chaos is going to ensue with this group that we have going into year 3. Year 2 was disappointing. I feel like we had a much better roster in year 2 than we do this year. And in year 1. But year 1, we were very good. Year 1, we made the playoffs. Year 2, we did not. We went 9-4. And we got some players to go after right now in the recruiting trail. 5-star running back Jose Carruthers from Belair, Texas. And then Glenn Stye, I believe, was also a guy I really liked. Yeah, 80 speed. Good God. Yeah, I liked Glenn quite a bit. I'm going to go hard on him. Nicholas Fontus, Nico Mateo. Mateo is 6'6", 212 from Arlington. 5-star. He's elite. I want him so bad. 80 speed, 86 speed, 87 speed. None of that really wows me. We're going to go after Denzel Wiley. 6'6", 226. We could use him. I'm going to go after lineman in a second. We're going to go after the 5-star Shakir Rolls. I know we've added a ton of 5-star edge rushers recently, but why not get more? Emmett Dell looks like a dog. Ooh, Eric Mans, actually. Anyways, Josh Hodges. Linebackers are going to be a priority for us this season. We go after the 5-star, even though he's a bust. I'm also going to go after some 5-star corners, Forrest Bragg and Amani Omiyale, and Najee McCollum. That's a S-tier name. And Zach Tiffin. We're going to go after 4 cornerbacks very hard on all of them. And then I think we're going to spend the rest on offensive linemen. So I'm going to do all 3 tackles. And then I'll also do Mats. And why not? Let's do Maldonado because we need linebackers. It is week 0, so we'll take a look at the scores and schedules across college football. There are some good games this week, I think. Yeah, Wisconsin and Pitt is an interesting matchup. But the title card matches of this week are South Carolina, Miami, and Oregon, Baylor. Oregon, they've got a lot to prove. They were our national champions 2 years ago with Dante Moore. And last year they returned him and DeCorian Moore, and they weren't as good, even though they were still great. Now they come into the year ranked 21st. losing even more talent, reloading in the portal. Against a scrappy Baylor team, which made the playoffs 2 years ago and last year came very, very close. They're 24th, and they're trying to upset Oregon on their home turf. If you look back to 2 years ago, we had a very similar matchup that included Baylor at home, where Auburn was the victim of the upset. I wouldn't rule out Baylor in this game if I was Oregon. The Ducks are likely going to be more than touchdown favorites. And then same thing, South Carolina at Miami. Miami's got a super experienced quarterback in Steve Angeli, whereas South Carolina's guy has never played in a stadium that big. Give me, actually, give me the Hurricanes in an upset there. I think that one could very well go to overtime, though. It's gonna be a very close game. I'm super excited to see how these games go week one because it's gonna shape out a lot of the rest of the season. Taking a look at the scores and schedule, it does look like the Gamecocks got the job done. I want to go to the national broadcasted games. Boston College beats Rutgers. Duke beats San Jose State narrowly, though. Kansas State beats NC State. NC State continues to be one of the worst programs in the Power 5. Hawaii loses to UMass. Interesting loss for DeMarcus Davis. I thought Hawaii was going to be a scrappy team. And Oregon, Baylor was cinema, 44-42. The Ducks get the narrow victory. Oregon State beats BYU. You'd think Tavian St. Clair would be making a playoff run, but they have a home slip-up. Neutral site game in Wisconsin against Pittsburgh. The Panthers survive and stay ranked. Miami loses against South Carolina. Mizzou gets blown out by San Diego State. Guess their freshman had a bit of the yips against Pierce Clarkson and company. The I-35 showdown never disappoints. This year it went to UTSA. Arkansas State, Missouri State is always a fun one, and it went down to the wire as well. Week one, we got some title card matches as well. Alabama hosting West Virginia. I think Alabama's got this, but you never know. Penn State's unranked. They're against a rival Syracuse team that I think could be really scrappy and actually piece together a victory. Penn State, they lost their quarterback to the portal. And yeah, they're in shambles. Syracuse, on the other hand, could be on the uphill battle. I would pick Syracuse in this one if they weren't at Penn State, but it is an afternoon game. It's not going to be as hostile as a night game would be. Maybe they pull it out. Indiana at Virginia is certainly intriguing. Indiana, you bring in a new quarterback, making his first career start. Virginia is a pitiful program, but if they were to get this upset, same thing with Toledo at Kentucky. I think Toledo could easily go in and upset Kentucky. We've seen them do it before to SEC opponents. And then obviously us and Clemson is also a huge game. You got Temple at FIU. They got questions. Aaron Nolan's, is he going to be good to go? What about the rest of the team? You go to Pit Bull Stadium, which is super interesting. We have a game like that at New Mexico. South Carolina and Mississippi State. I mean, you're on top of the world right now if you're South Carolina. Imagine losing to the Bulldogs. USC, they play UNLV. The reigning champs should be able to get that done. Georgia at Florida State is one that really interests me. Ryan Puglisi is likely going to get the go for Georgia over Adam Matthews. But going into that hostile environment, I would love to see an upset. Louisville at USF, new quarterback for Louisville coming over from the SEC. I'd love to see the upset there. LSU at Houston, unranked battle. Two teams, though, that I think could both be very solid. I can see Houston pulling off the upset here. And then you got Miami looking to bounce back against Utah. And the game of the week, Florida at Duke. Oh my God, I'm so ready for this game. The freshman quarterback and the Florida Gators, who were the best team in college football in the regular season year one. Year two, they go to the Natty. They likely have the number one pick with DJ Lagway and one of the best running backs in college football history with Jaden Ball. You didn't get it done in the Natty. You lost to USC, but now you're back, ranked 5th because you lost a lot of production, and you're going on the road against a Duke team that's made the playoffs 2 years in a row and is a combined 23-1 in the past 2 regular seasons. I do see a concern for Duke, and that is, even though they're returning Darian Mensah for a 4th year at the college football level, or starting at the college football level, the thing is, you lost a ton of great players after year 1. You lost more great players after year 2. How much left does Duke have in the tank? And is this really a juggernaut team? Because we know Mike Elko, that's me, got the ball rolling there and really got them out of the dump of the bottom of the ACC into a great program. And it would be a statement if they were able to upset the Gators at home. A rivalry matchup, Pitt and Boston College, Cal and UCLA. UCLA starting a dreadful quarterback. I could see them on upset alert here, and they're certainly not a ranked level team. Texas and UCF in a neutral site. Love to see the upset there. You got a rivalry in between Purdue and Notre Dame. Could be interesting. Buffalo was a team that went 12-1 last year. Had a one of the best Mike linebackers taken in the draft. They're going to the Big House. That'll be interesting. Then a bunch of FCS games and regional broadcasts as well. But for us, we play Clemson. It's the Aggies and the Tigers. Austin Simmons against Eli Holstein, who seem to have switched conferences in the past 2 years. Simmons was one of the more poor quarterbacks in the SEC, going to the best team in the ACC. Holstein was one of the best quarterbacks on a pretty poor team in the ACC. Goes to one of the best teams in the SEC, played kind of poorly last year. As for what game I think we're going to black out, I think it's going to be the Arkansas game, the rivalry matchup. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Arkansas game that we're going to black out. And we're going to play against Clemson. Week 1, the Tigers and the Aggies facing off. 2 teams that had a ton of guys pumped into the NFL after last season. And now they're reloading, bringing back, replacing, bringing in. This is going to be an amazing game. I can't wait. In the Aflac kickoff between Clemson and Texas A&M, year 3, it's 2027. We've got some fake players on the field. And that does not at all bother me. People that stop playing their dynasties once it's all fake players are insane. When the fake players come in is when it starts getting fun. It's always fun, obviously, but also because I can take over full realism with fake players, being able to edit them and stuff like that, which I might do a little bit of season to season, just keeping it fresh with equipment, numbers, all that fun stuff. Here we are in a neutral site game, in the site where we've had some crazy games in the past. Georgia and Oregon had a blowout win for the Bulldogs a few years ago in a battle between Carson Beck and Bo Nix. Clemson faced off against Georgia here a while ago. Simmons and company driving down the field. They also have junior running back Gideon Davidson, who is quite the dog, if you ask me. Simmons, changing play at the line, 3rd and 6. Here they come. Quick pass for Simmons. It's caught. The tackle was missed. Finally, Xavier Brown's going to track him down, but that was an incredible read by Simmons, and all of a sudden it's instant red zone possession for Clemson. Hurry up offense for the Tigers, now inside the red zone. Davidson switches sides. They give it to him. He bounces it to the outside, makes a man miss, but he'll only get one. Brian Nelson on the tackle, and we'll give it back to the CPU to get the field goal stop. So we hold them to a field goal. Here we come back out onto the field. Still with a pretty poor offense. The handoff, it's Amani Ogba. The redshirt freshman played in 4 games for us last year. And then said that he was going to enter the transfer portal. But then he said, whoa, 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 let's pump the brakes. I know I'm going to be a clear-cut starter, even though he's playing shit. I know I'm going to be a clear-cut starter for these Aggies. I might as well come back and finish what I started. And that one is caught. Cordell Russell, the transfer from Miami of Ohio, already making a nice catch, moving the chains. Very nice play there by Russell. Here's a pass, Isaiah Williams. Williams with a spin move and a first down. Isaiah Williams moving the chains. Yeah, he only had like 2 catches in all of last season, so it's nice to see him making plays. Thought about forcing it to Coyote Armstrong and said we'll scramble out for 2 yards with the quarterback, Holstein. We know he's fast. He's a very athletic young man. Here he pitches it out to Ogba. He's going to pick up the first down. Amani Ogba. 3 carries, 11 yards. And you can hear the band playing in the background. DeAndre Ryden comes in at halfback. Got to get out of there. Holstein on the run gets hit. Dangerous throw to make for a right-handed QB. And he ends up paying the price, taking a big, big hit. Here's a screen pass for Amani going backwards. Oh my God. It's a 10-yard loss. What was happening there? Amani Ogba not really looking the part so far. Here over the middle, it's going to be caught by Russell again. They'll get it down to the 25, make a manageable field goal opportunity for Tyler White, who knocks it through. We're going to get it back here towards the end of the first quarter. Holstein snapping it. Here's the give. Amani Ogba, plenty of room for the redshirt freshman 5-star. Amani Ogba, first down, Aggies. What a run. Physical by the elusive bruiser who was the 4th string for all of last season. We saw him a little bit, but not enough. Right now, he's been great, but here he's injured. Ogba comes out of the game. It'll be DeAndre Ryden who comes in on 2nd and 3. The give for Ryden gets through. First down, DeAndre Ryden. All of a sudden, these guys are playing really well. This is a team that struggled offensively last season. Holstein hit as he throws, and Bussey's going to drop it. Terry Bussey's terrible hands continue into year 3, which is just so unfortunate because Holstein made an absolute dot. He had a man in his face and was trying to throw the football with no visibility whatsoever. However, he was still able to put it right on the money. That one is caught, but it's going to be out of bounds. Amani Ogba is not looking like he's going to be back out on the field anytime soon. Freshman Raphael Biggers is in at halfback, and he gets the screen. Biggers with a nice move. He paves the way for a first down. How about Raphael Biggers, the true freshman, 74 overall 4-star, making a move and then picking up the first down in the absence of Amani Ogba. There's the give. DeAndre Ryden will get 1. Holstein snaps it. Play action. Can't find the open man, but never mind, he can. It's caught somehow by Cordell Russell. Holstein was able to force it in to Russell. And I just hate to see those 3-star players in the Clemson D-line. Will bounce it out and score with DeAndre Ryden. Ryden is in for the first touchdown of the season by the Aggies. I believe last year was Jadarian Price. So once again, we have a backup running back getting in on the score. And we're up 10-3 over the Tigers, which is great to see. There's Celestin Miles, the redshirt freshman tight end on the play. Miles gets 7. He'll probably have more receiving yards than the starter Coyote Armstrong, mainly because of his athleticism. Biggers in at the running back position. Holstein will pull it on a quarterback wrap play. and pick up the first down. We're playing some smart football right now. As you can see, we'll move the chains again. Holstein hit as he throws, intended for Keody Armstrong. The thing about Holstein is he's one of the few players on this roster that have actually played against Clemson before. With the transfer portal, not everybody is going to be entirely new to a matchup against any given team. But Holstein is one of those guys who's played against these fellas before. On the run, it's dropped by the impact receiver, Cordell Russell. We'll punt it away. And we do get it back here. First and 10 now. Raphael Biggers in at running back. Here's the snap. Holstein on the run. It's caught. Isaiah Williams brings it to 2nd and inches. As you can see, Holstein is clearly outplaying Mr. Austin Simmons. Here's Ryden. Won't get anything. 2nd and inches. He'll lose a yard. It's now 3rd and about a yard and a half. Jericho Washington Jr., one of the top transfers, went over to Clemson. He's a former Kennesaw State guy. That'll just show you how far he's come. Here's Tristan Norman makes the catch. First down, Aggies. And we are moving across the 40-yard line. And we're in midfield. Holstein will snap it. Gets to Cordell Russell, the impact receiver, and with the up-tempo offense for the Aggies yet again. Minute 39 to play in the half. And already leads 10-3. Here's a draw. DeAndre Ryden will lose a yard. Ryden going backwards. You can see these teams have been pretty even when it comes to running the football. However, passing, we've had the edge, which is very out of character for us. Here we'll lob it up. Terry Bussey going up to get it, and he drops it because he's Terry Bussey. Oh my God, he's so bad. His catching stats in this game are killing him. Here's the snap. Keody Armstrong is going to get it. The tight end picks up the first down for the Aggies. And all of a sudden, Eli Holstein's already completed 12 passes this game. He's been delivering dot after dot. Tristan Norman's going to get this one. Norman picks up the first. And it's a 13th completion of the day, and we're not even at halftime yet for the Aggies. 38 seconds to play in half. Got to have a sense of urgency here. And not a DeAndre Ryden going backwards type sense of urgency. The Creighton tackles Ryden for a loss for the second time. Now it comes over to 2nd and 12. Holstein, the snap. He'll throw. It's caught. Cordell Russell, first down Aggies. And we will continue to move the ball down the field and hurry up mode. Snap. That one is nearly intercepted. It was intended for Bussey. He was on the crossing route. But instead, they couldn't get it to him. Here they'll go for Norman short again. Timeout Aggies. That leaves just one left for us. Holstein with 15 completions of 22 in the first half. Holstein rolling out, trying to make a play. And he gets it to Cordell Russell on the move, improvising with the score. Touchdown Aggies. And we're up 17-3 here just seconds before halftime. And we get the ball back. Things are looking great for us. The only problem is, well, I was going to say the only problem is Amani Ogba's not in the game. Well, look at him. He's back out of the locker room. Our star running back, healthy again. Never mind. He's hurt. He comes back for one play, then he'll come out. Raphael Biggers now the back. Audible called at the line by Holstein. He will snap it. roll out. He will scramble. Holstein with a nice move. He's across midfield, down to the 40. A huge scramble by Eli Holstein. And we're going to keep him on the outback game. I need him to be in this football game. And here he's going to go backwards, and he's hurt again. A third time this game that Amani Agba is going to go out of the field injured. Well, that's not good. Here's Holstein. He'll snap it. Over the middle. Caught by Bussey. Finally catches it there. Picks up the first down. How about Terry Bussey doing his thing? Now we'll substitute DeAndre Ryden as we just see that Amani Agba has got some very bruised ribs. Miami, Ohio, the former team of Cordell Russell. Oh my God, Ryden is horrible. Just realizing. Miami, Ohio, the former team of Cordell Russell, loses to an FCS school, so he's happy to be on our side. And not theirs. Here they come. What a sack. Jared Smith finally able to get to the quarterback. Our offensive line has not gotten enough credit from me just yet today for playing so well. So Clemson finally able to get through that. Here's a throw on the run. It is almost intercepted, knocked away from Cordell Russell. Now we will just kick the field goal and get it right back. Our defense playing great football. As for Mr. Austin Simmons, he's having a rough day in his Clemson debut. Holstein snaps it. Here's the give for Ryden, finally getting yards in a forward direction. Ryden, 8 carries, 7 yards today is pretty pitiful. Here he'll go again to the outside, and he'll lose 2 more. 9 carries, 5 yards for DeAndre Ryden today. We need Amani Agba back. Holstein, the snap. Here's a comebacker for Isaiah Williams, who makes the catch, and it's a first down, Aggies. That also puts Eli Holstein over 200 passing yard mark today. Ryden gets the ball, and he'll get 2. That's 10 carries and 7 yards for DeAndre Ryden. Terrible day for the redshirt sophomore who's been an Aggie his whole career. Holstein nowhere to go here. Defender crashes in, so he darts it over to Celeste Miles. Redshirt freshman tight end picks up 5. They'll bring up 3rd and 3. Holstein snaps it. Here we are, pitching it out. Ryden's going to lose more. He's so fucking bad. Oh my God. We missed the field goal, and Clemson might just go down and score. Never mind, they get the field goal. We're into the 4th quarter now. Once again, trying to hold on to things. Holstein scrambling out on the run. Cordell Russell can't get it. He was wide open. Could have turned that up for a score. I can't even blame Holstein because he's having an insane day. He's just been doing something I didn't think he could. Please catch it, Bussey. Oh my God, no way that's picked off. I thought that was a dot. I should have avoided it. Holstein's picked off for the first time this season. Definitely not the last. But it sucks because that shouldn't have been an interception. Now Clemson's within 1 score of us. Not ideal, and it's certainly not ideal that I'm about to go right back to very equally risky pass play. You know, effort we ball, never mind. He gets sacked. Amare Adams on the sack. They sell out for the run with DeAndre Ryden. He will do a good job. He gets 1 yard. I'd love to see Armstrong get open here. And never mind, we're going to lose 10 on the sack by Jared Smith. Clemson's done a better job of getting to the QB than we have. And now, when it matters most, Simmons is going to go down the field and tie the game. We've gone from 20-3 to 20-20 pretty fast. Ryden gets to the outside, finally picking up yardage. DeAndre Ryden finally able to bounce free and pick up the first down. First down, Aggies. Holstein calling an audible at the line. He'll throw it. Caught by Russell, who's had a great game. The transfer from Miami, Ohio, has looked the part. 6'4", big boy. And then 7 catches, 98 yards today for Russell. He might look his way here again. Oh my goodness, nearly intercepted. Bad throw from Holstein. Jericho Washington Jr. got a hand on him. And that's not good, because we know he is very, very, very good. Here's a lob pass. Oh my God. It's a dot. Cornell Russell back in the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. They're going to make sure he was in. Clemson's challenging. But oh my God. What an absolute dime from Holstein to Russell. Russell in his first game as an Aggie is putting on a show right now. As I can hear the band playing. It's a touchdown. Texas A&M retakes the lead. A 31-yard dime from a Holstein to Russell, and there's a pick. Javon Thomas, I told you, he's going to be the leader of our defense. I don't care that he hasn't recorded a tackle this entire series. He's going to be the leader of our defense. Holstein to scramble, makes the first man miss, slides down, never mind, he gets hit, but he goes down at the 4. The Aggies now in control once again. Doing exactly what they do best. And Amani Ogba's back in the game. Oh my God. Amani into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas A&M. And the guy with the bruised ribs, who has bruised his ribs like 3 times this game, finally gets into the end zone for a score. 3rd and 5, we'll hop on in. Against the Tigers, this is going to be a massive, massive 3rd down. 2-minute warning. Clemson's down by multiple scores. Austin Simmons has not had the best game, but he's been a lot better as of recent. Simmons, the lefty, rolls out. Simmons lobbing it up. Uh-oh. And it's knocked away. Javon Thomas and company were there. Almost had another pick. You can hear the Aggie band playing loud. Oh my God. Give me that. Thomas knocks it away. He's been all over the field. I'm telling you guys, Javon Thomas is the dude. He's the man for us. He's going to be a leader. Here's the give. Amani Ogba's been amazing, even though he has bruised ribs. Oh my God, he did it again. It's the 4th time this game that Amani Ogba has bruised his freaking ribs. Now DeAndre Ryden's about to lose 7 yards. So very, very bad play by Ryden. 3-yard gain. Oh my God, calf strain. Amani Ogba may never see the light of day because of how injured he is. Celeste Miles makes the grab, breaks the tackle, and picks up 7 on that play. It's a timeout for Clemson. 3rd down and 3. Here's the give. Ryden powers into the end zone for his 2nd score of the game. DeAndre Ryden. It's been a rough game for him, but he's able to get in, and all of a sudden we've scored 3 unanswered touchdowns. And we do get the win, 41-10. I was super impressed by the way our offense played today. Eli Holstein, aside from one weird throw, was amazing. DeAndre Ryden was bad, but Amani Ogba was great. He's looking to be the guy moving forward. Cordell Russell was a beast receiving. Isaiah Williams, Tristan Norman, Terry Bussey got mixed in. Bussey dropped the ball like 8 fucking times. Blocking, you were amazing. DeSantis and Bridges were both good. Ponton, Nado, Apua all played. Both Wyden, delivering the second. We didn't get any sacks, but Thomas got a pick. 3 TFLs for Beal, 1 for Braxton, 1 for Johnson. And yeah, this team is great. This team is so good. We just knocked off Clemson. Now, Austin Simmons didn't play his best game. But I got scared for a second there when they started to come back. They started to get all the momentum that we were going to drop that game. But we stayed in it. And we, at the end of the day, were able to pull out of here with the W. My goodness. Yeah, it's going to be center, Nebu, right guard. The right guard should be Basantis. Yeah, left tackle is going to be Rogers. Left guard is going to be Afua. Center is Nebu. Right guard is Basantis. Right tackle is Ponton. Yes. Okay, I don't know why it didn't save my depth chart changes. Did it not say my defensive ones either? Thomas, Johnson, Davis, Braxton, Johnson, Radcliffe, kicker White, punter White, kick returner Williams, punt returner Bussey, KOS White, long snapper Gideon, third down running back Ogba, power back Ogba, slot receiver Williams, rush left end. Wasn't my rush left end Solomon Williams though? I guess not. Rush D tackle Deal. Yeah, it's Deal, then Evans, then Jackson. Sub linebacker is Trapuka. Yep. Slot corner, Brown. Nose tackle, Deal. Gadget, Bussey. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. That's fine. We're going to sim ahead and see how all the games went. Yo, Aggie's got a good video idea? Not really. Not really, big dog. Sorry. We're up to 10th in the country after that win. That's pretty crazy. Now we try to get our revenge against Arizona State. First, we're going to look around the nation, see what kind of chaos happened in week 1. Look by national broadcast. LSU wallops Houston. Miami gets back on track, and they crush Utah. My God. Michigan plays Buffalo, but kind of as expected. The Bulls they put up a fight. Notre Dame continues to dominate that rivalry. Northwestern with a narrow victory. Ohio State drops 65. Penn State, Syracuse, like I said, it was close, but Penn State squeaks by. South Carolina squeaks by Luke Kromenhoek and Mississippi State. The Gamecocks are now 2-0. They're one of the best teams in the country. We beat Clemson. TCU rocks Stanford. Oh my goodness. What's his name? 5-star. He's at Alabama in real life. Keelan Russell. That's right. Keelan Russell dominates. And then Tennessee at FIU. Tennessee with a huge win over a team that's been great, especially last year. They went like 12-1. Georgia, again, like I said, very narrow, but they do squeak by Florida State by 2 points. Tulane gets upset by Louisiana. Not a good look for Deuce Knight in his first game. Washington gets the win. USF crushes Louisville, a team that made the playoffs last year. Huge victory for the Bulls, who lost some great players. They had 2 very highly drafted wide receivers last season. Auburn, a little too close for comfort against Missouri State. Bama absolutely bullies West Virginia. Duke beats Florida. The Blue Devils' legacy lives on, and the Gators are 0-1. Duke's going 12-0 again. Indiana, Virginia, like I said, close game. And then some other just FCS games here. Anybody lose to FCS? That would be funny if somebody lost to FCS. San Jose State's playing these good teams really close. Congratulations to them on being the best 0-2 team. Baylor, They get back on track with a win over FCS. A weird win where they gave up 26 points, but, you know, a win's a win. Oh, my. Cincy almost got an upset alert. Western Michigan, who? Air Force got shit. Air Force only scored 3 on FCS. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. That's pitiful. Hawaii, I thought they were going to be good. They only beat FCS by 1. I thought Hawaii was going to be a beast with DeMarcus Davis. Turns out the rest of that team is much worse than we expected. Week 2, we'll see the national broadcast games. USF at Boise State is going to be a super fun matchup. USF just upset a team that was in the playoffs last year. Boise State has the best quarterback in college football, Austin Mack. That's going to be a great game. And a little American versus Pac-12 action there. You see some other games. Notre Dame hosting Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets are pretty god-awful. Same thing, Illinois against Missouri. Missouri sucks. Missouri is dreadful. South Carolina hosts App State. Maybe. I mean, App State's known to be a giant killer. And then you got Cal hosting BYU. Tavian St. Clair trying to get back on track after losing a game he shouldn't have. FIU against Buffalo is kind of like the G5 championship from last year. FIU and Buffalo were the two best group of 5 teams, the 2 teams with the best record in the group of 5 last year. Cool to see them playing against each other. Both 0-1 though. Arkansas State and Memphis, fun rivalry. Arkansas State's been great so far. LSU ranked, they'll play UTSA, another team that's known to be giant killers. Oregon at Rutgers could be a trap game. Iowa State for the Cy Hawk Trophy is always a fun one. Troy at Miami. Let me get Miami to get a huge win. Ole Miss is ranked. Let me get them back on track. Imagine if Tulane goes to 0-2. Southern Miss is a good squad. I'd like to see them win. Oklahoma at SMU. This is going to be a great game. I think maybe the Sooners pull off an upset here on the road. Michigan and Texas playing. They played each other back in 2023, and the Longhorns came out on top. Or was that 2020? No, it was 2024, gang. 2024, these 2 teams faced off. It's been 3 years, and they're already playing again. I mean, Texas is the, like, this is a really close game. I don't know who's going to win. Give me Texas, actually, just because they're at home. Tennessee at Kentucky should be a fun one. You got Texas A&M and Arizona State, obviously, and then a bunch of FCS teams. Still, as we're not into conference play just yet. But we're going to get on into this game at Arizona State, trying to make up for a overtime loss last year against these guys, and I fully expect us to win here big. We're going to be playing with a chip on our shoulder. They don't have Sam Levin anymore. They don't have Jordan Tyson. They don't have Cam Scatabo. They don't have any of the players that made this team great. And here we start things off. This is a very there's a lot of talent on this field. No matter what happened in the offseason, both these teams lost significantly good playmakers to the NFL, but both of them reloaded in a certain way or the other. Obviously, I'm biased. I think we did a much better job of doing so. But these guys did beat us last year in our place, in overtime, and they just immediately went out and scored a touchdown. Here's Holstein. First play of the game. He'll snap it. But Holstein rolling out. Immediately got his curl route covered, so he'll pick up the first down with his legs. He does a pretty good job. 15-yard run for the starting QB. Love to see it. Here's the snap from Holstein. Russell's well covered. He'll try and scramble again, but he's sacked. Artrell Hughes bringing him down for a huge loss. This looks like it's going to be one of those games, isn't it? Here's the give. Ogba, spin move for Amani Ogba. Picks up 10. He's got a good first carry. I'm excited to get him going today. Hopefully he doesn't lose his ribs 3 times and then strain his calf like he did last time. Yodi Armstrong is so slow. He makes the catch. 61-yard field goal. I say no thank you. I like Celeste Miles, who's sneaky fast for a tight end. Drag, however, he won't get it. Arizona State's going to take back over. Again, they're starting the true freshman Tua Warrior, who I do like quite a bit. Going to get it back, though, at our own 14. Holstein, McGill, Ogba got a pancake, making moves, picks up 5. Amani Ogba doing his thing. I love to see these guys balling out. Over the middle, it's caught. Is that Bussey? Terry Bussey caught the football. Hello. Oh my. Great catch by Bussey. Here's the give. Ogba will not get much. They lose a yard. Martell Hughes, one of the top players in this team, bringing him down for the tackle. Over the middle, Bussey again makes the catch. I seem to remember Bussey balling out against them last year as well. He's already got 2 catches for 26 yards today. Excited to see him play even more. Keody Armstrong is open over the middle of the field. Makes the catch. He'll pick up 6. As we continue to be down 7-0, getting closer and closer to the end of the quarter. Here's the give. Amani Ogba going nowhere. No release off the carry. He gets tackled for a loss of 2 by Kyan McDonald. Now here comes this crowd. They're a big X factor in this game. How much are these fans of Arizona State going to show up? The answer looks right now to be not too much. Raphael Biggers checks in at halfback. The freshman Biggers, first down. Raphael Biggers, 13-yard gain. That's huge. Love to see some of our lesser-known players really getting their chances and balling out. Holstein, oh my God, he survives somehow, then gets rid of it to Miles, who picks up 3. Oh my. Eli Holstein trying to get out of it, but he just runs up into the ass of Lamar Rogers. Finally got a speed boost, and then had a man chasing him around. He goes backwards, he evades the sack, then throws on the run to his redshirt freshman Celeste Miles. Here we are on 2nd and 7. Here's the throw. Armstrong makes the catch. He's made a lot of good plays today. As Eli Holstein moves the chains to Keody Armstrong. 1st and goal now. Holstein got a block. He tried to throw it away, but he's going to go down with the sack. Michael Gardner brings him down. Audible at the line. Amani Ogba with the carry. He'll get 5. Just about. Arkansas beats Oklahoma State. Oh my God, pass interference, please. Receiver got bumped. We'll kick the field goal with Tyler White, make it a 4-point deficit. And now we'll get it back. These guys are our kryptonite. We're quickly learning that. We hate these guys. Oh my God, Terry Bussey's open again. Bussey, spin move, gets 2. Picks up the 1st down and more. Terry Bussey moving the chains. And we will keep on trucking. Here's Cordell Russell, the transfer, making the grab. It'll get 3. Holstein is 9 of 11 passing. He's doing a very good job. He's got plenty of time to throw. He'll roll out. Doesn't know where to go. Always scrambles after the wide receiver. Williams turns it upfield. Holstein able to pick up the 1st. Holstein gives it to Amani. Amani Ogba gets 5. Averaging about 3.5 yards a carry today. Could be better. Went off the week where he was banged up. There, he gets it. Nope, Bussey sucks. Bussey can't catch. Illinois beats Missouri. Missouri is horrible. Like, they legitimately stink. Amani Ogba, oh my goodness, that defender with his hands up scared me. But Amani Ogba is going to pick up the first down, move the chains yet again. I like Celestine Miles here. Holstein, get a block. Eli Holstein down to the goal line at the 2. And we'll try and just punch it in with Amani Ogba here and take the lead. Vanderbilt gets a win. Amani won't get it. He will get stood up at the line. So we now go to second goal. On goal line. Here's the give. Amani Ogba walks in. Touchdown Aggies. And once again, we take the lead. Our first lead of the game. It's 10-7. We get it right back. Jalen Braxton with a huge interception. And we head to the 2-minute timeout with the lead and the ball inside the 10. That's huge for us. This crowd getting loud, though. They don't want us to score any more points. And we will. Terry Bussey gets in for the score. And he hits the gritty as Eli Holstein putting up another show. As it's 17-7. We're going to get it back now. Having scored 17 unanswered, we've got all the momentum in the world right now. Bussey's ball. Holstein not really anywhere to go. He's going way backwards. Huge loss on the play. Martell Hughes brings him down for a huge loss. Here's the give. Amani Ogba gets 4. He's been bad today. Not a great day for Amani Ogba, but I want to see him do better at some point. I'm confident that he will. Williams on a hot route. Maybe we get hit as we throw, and maybe a 4th and 21. That's a no-brain to punt the football. And we will just go to halftime as we kneel it out. We come back from the half, up 17-7 against this Arizona State team. Again, we were pretty big favorites on the road. About 13.5-point favorites over these guys. We got stonewalled there. Amani Ogba not getting anything. The passing game has kind of come to a screeching halt. Miles makes the catch, gets out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain for Celestine Miles. 12 of 16 today. Passing is Holstein. Bussey makes the grab on the high ball. 5 catches, 68 yards today for Bussey. Very nice game for him so far. RPO, it's going to be caught by Russell. Cordell Russell is going to get 4. Good job by Russell, who's been quieter today so far. But again, he could break out at any moment. Like right now. Oh, he dropped it. Cordell Russell could have had another touchdown if he were to come down with it. Holstein gets it. Caught. First down, Cordell Russell. Now Holstein snapping it. To give to Amani Ogba. Plenty of room. Amani, spin move. He saw the light of day there for a second. Amani Ogba playing much worse this week than he did last week, but oh my goodness. That was a great play. Holstein pulls the read option, gets a block. Spin move, and gets down at the 13. How about Eli Holstein doing his thing running the football? Now all of a sudden we've got another big opportunity. Celestine Miles has been busy today. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown for our tight end. Celestine Miles, the redshirt freshman, with the score. And we're going to get it right back It's 24-7. Miles makes the grab again. He'll get 4. Miles with 4 catches, 26 yards from the tub. Third and 1. Ogbo gets it on the counter run, gets blown up. He loses 2. It'll be 4th and 3. We'll make it a clean 20-point lead with this kick. Never mind, we won't make the kick. Now we're only up by 10. Here in the late goings of the third quarter. On the road, on the All Whites. Oh my God, what a pancake. Ogbo's only going to get 1, but somebody just got murdered. What a pancake there. Here's Ogbo, keeps him on the lead option. Or the RPO, that is. Crowd gets loud. 3rd and 4. Pass rush comes in. Keody Armstrong is open, and somehow Holstein threads the needle. His improvisational abilities have clearly improved. All the awareness, the throw on the run. He's doing a much better job of extending plays and making sure that when players get open, he gets them the ball, no matter what's happening in the backfield. We go to the 4th quarter after a nice run by Amani Ogbo. In control, leading by 10. Amani Ogbo will not get anything. He'll lose it right here. That one's caught by Bussey. He'll get 7. Nice catch there by Terry Bussey. 3rd and 4. Holstein and company. And that's a touchdown. Cordell Russell. Braylon Russell's a running back. Cordell Russell makes the catch, and we're now up by 17, getting it back to a Warrior and company, not doing much right now to help Arizona State. And now, Cordell Russell's open again. This is going to be not a dot because Holstein overthrew him. Here's the give. Amani Ogbo, almost the first down, maybe 6 yards. 3rd and 4 now. We're very close. DeAndre Ryden checks in, running back. He had a rough game. If they pitch it out to him, he's going to lose a lot. Loss of 3 for Ryden. We will go here just to try and finish the game out. I trust our defense so much at this point. It's like, so what if Tristan Norman just didn't get it, and we're still going to do our thing defensively, right? Yep, we sure are. Look at that. Holstein, play action. He'll scramble. Nope, he'll throw. Caught by Bussey, who will get 3. Warrior is 9 of 26. The freshman just has had to throw into a no-fly zone. Ryden on the carry. How about DeAndre Ryden? Plenty of room to go. Up and over. DeAndre Ryden making highlight reel plays here for the Aggies with a huge gain. It's 29 yards on the play for Ryden. How about the redshirt sophomore doing exactly what he does best? It's just pound the football forward. We continue to chew down the clock. I'd like to get Cordell Russell open here for another score. Holstein skipped right away. 22 of 29 today is Eli Holstein. Norman makes the grab. Oh, no, he doesn't. Drops it immediately. And we're going to try and kick a field goal to make it a 20-point lead yet again. Warrior and company moving down the field, and they actually get the score. We will, however, recover that onside kick and go right back to having the ball offensively. There's a lob pass for Cordell Russell. I think he's going to catch it, and he's going to walk in. Touchdown, Aggies. Cordell Russell. He got 4 receiving scores this year already, I think. 2 in each of his first 2 games. We get the 2-point conversion, make it a 21-point lead. And even better, DeAndre Ryden is just absolutely cooking right now at that. Why do they keep, pressing? They're just asking. They're just asking us to pile it on. I want to pile it on. I hate these guys for what they did to us last season. Throwing off our whole year. Bussy reaching for the goal line. As we, on 1st and goal, will try to get another score here. To give Ryden powers forward down to the 1. We're going to snap this with 1 second left and just sneak it in for the score. And we get in. We're going to win this game by quite a bit. 49-21. Yeah, we crushed them. We get our revenge. Tua Warrior was just not good. Even if he did pick things up towards the end. Yeah, he was awful. No touchdown. He sucks. Get this guy off the field. Tua Warrior, no touchdowns, 3 picks. Did run the ball decently. But for us, it was Amani Agba, Eli Holstein. Ryden was much better than Agba. It was like a flip-flop of what happened last week. I want to see passing. I hate it when split tackles. I want to see passing. Oh my God. Stats in this game are so good. Passing. Yeah, Holstein was unstoppable. 311 yards, 75% completion. 4 touchdowns, no picks. He also ran it in for a score. Receiving, Bussy was great. Russell with 2 more catches for a score. Miles had a score. Bussy and Russell both had drops, as did Tristan Norman. Great game for Afua, great game for Rogers, good game for Nebu. Compton was bad. Weirdly enough, Compton was really bad. January with the sack, Bassett with the sack, and Traore, the freshman. Hey, hit for him. Braxton with 1 and Johnson with 1 as well. But the redshirt freshman, Gabriel Traore, getting a pick. That's good to see, as he's going to be probably our captain of the defense next season in 2028. But either way, we win, we keep our top 10 ranking, and we knock off the guys that ruined our season in week 1 last year. Did I even recruit this week? Who knows? We do have a bye week this week. We'll look at what happened last week. We'll also restructure the board. Jose Carruthers, Glenn Stye, Kiki Alati. All these guys like us. Nicholas Fantus, Nico Mateo, Eric KZ. Do any of these guys hate me? Yeah, Clay Daly is just not going to come to our school. Denzel Wiley loves Florida. Hate to see that. Levi Noel is not looking like he'll commit. Kiki and David Fasano also is not looking too fond of us. Clyde Raynaud is just not going to be a possibility. Shakir Rawls likes us. On the other hand, not a lot of these other guys do. I'm going to remove Matt Cain, let Michigan have him. Eric Mantz. Do we cut our losses here, or do we hard sell? I'm going to soft sell Eric Mantz. Josh Hodges, we like. Ben Maldonado, I don't feel like I need to put the full 25 on him. Mohamed Indonesia, same thing. I'm going to only put 25 on him, take 25 off of him. That way we got some points for visits, because I want to bring in visits Forrest Bragg. He's ready to hard sell, or he's not ready to hard sell yet, but I have his checks. Najee McCollum. Need him because his name is so cool. Free safety, Chauncey Etienne, and Dorian Grassu does not like us enough anymore. All right, ready for visit. Nico Mateo. Come on in. Week 6 against Georgia, please. Proximity to home. Jose Carruthers come in week 6 against Georgia. Proximity to home. Shakir Rawls come in against Georgia. Proximity to home. And then Josh Hodges coming against Georgia. Championship contender. And I'll put like 5 points into Bill Mears, because why not? Alrighty, we're going to take a look at what happened last week in college football and then look at the next week. Texas and Michigan in overtime. That must have been cinema. Alrighty, what happened? Vandy beats Stanford. Boise State barely loses to USF. What could Austin Mack have done? These guys go to overtime. Austin Mack was insane. Austin Mack put up like a #1 overall pick type of performance. But on the other side, Jake Merklinger has been great this year as well. USF looking scary at 2-0. They've knocked off 2 great teams already. Not trying to play those guys whatsoever. Fresno State gets a win in conference play. Notre Dame barely squeaks by Georgia Tech. Illinois crushes Mizzou because they suck. South Carolina takes care of business. Wake's 2-0. They match their win total from last year. BYU knocks off a ranked Cal team on the road by 25. Tavian St. Clair and company bounce back. FIU wins the battle of great group of 5 teams from last year. Buffalo already with more losses than they had a year ago. Mississippi State gets a win. LSU gets a win. Kansas is 2-0. Oregon with a nice win, avoiding the upset. Iowa State and Iowa in the traditional low-scoring matchup. However, the Cyclones do survive. Miami wins. Ole Miss wins. Tulane barely wins and avoids the upset. I was right about Oklahoma. They blow out SMU on the road. How are they not ranked? They just crushed the Mustangs in their place. Texas beats Michigan in overtime. Tennessee knocks off Kentucky. Purdue gets a nice win over Bill Belichick and company. It's one of their biggest wins in recent program history. Hawaii's still bad. They're 1-2. Duke continues to win. And not much else. Missouri State's always in a close game, it feels like. But yeah, week 3. What is the look here for week 3? The slate has UCLA at Hawaii in the DeMarcus Davis Bowl. UCLA is horrible in my opinion. They should not be ranked. They already have a loss. And their quarterback room is the most abysmal in college football. Literally, Baylor at Air Force should not be any trouble. Air Force only scored 3 against an FCS school. I mean, I get it, Baylor's not as good as we thought they'd be, but still. You got the Rio Grande rivalry between New Mexico and New Mexico State. That ought to be decent enough. Arizona State at UNLV should be fun. A couple of teams breaking in a lot of new players after some success in previous years. Louisville at Georgia. Also fun. Georgia, in their one game, they squeaked by Florida State by 2. Louisville lost to USF by a ton. That ought to be an interesting game. Tulane at Wake Forest is one I'm super excited to watch. Great uniforms. And also, Wake Forest was a team that was great in year 1. They went like 11-3. Then year 2, they went 2-10. Now year 3, you got another new quarterback, new group of players. Tulane, they got Deuce Knight. This ought to be a great game. Oklahoma hosting San Diego State, 2 high-flying offenses. LSU should have no trouble. Miami and Clemson, 2 teams that have lost to SEC opponents in the ACC. Could this game already have playoff implications? If the loser, and especially Clemson, if they start out 0-2, I would not pick them to go to the playoffs. Battle of undefeateds between Colorado and Kansas. Texas Tech and Arizona, Oregon State at Oregon, a bunch of battles between unbeatens. You got the battle for the Iron Skillet. TCU goes to SMU. TCU's played well. SMU just got blown out. And then you got some other just smaller games. Ohio, oh my God, okay. Ohio State, Alabama is the title card match of the week. The Buckeyes and Dylan Raiola face off against Alabama and their insane freshmen. Because, of course, yeah, Kenny Minchie is starting because Aaron Noland is out. Aaron Noland might be out for the year. Elijah Leonard, I was about to say, was he the guy at Missouri last year? But no, he wasn't. God, Dylan Raiola is so good. Oh my goodness. Bernard Battles hasn't been bad. He's just throwing picks. He got 10 touchdowns. But their defense is bad. Jeremiah Watkins, Christian Hamilton, blocking. Blake Purchase already has 6 sacks. That's nasty, bro. That's devious. Alrighty. Go into week 4 because we don't have a game. Week 4, I believe we go to South Carolina, which ought to be a fun-ass game. They're ranked. They're undefeated. We're now up to 8th in the country, so maybe we had some parity. Yeah, South Carolina is 4th. They're undefeated. They do have a new quarterback. But they already had a test going to Miami and beating them. So certainly they are prepared for whatever we're going to swing at them. Week 3, though, you had some fun matchups. UCLA wins. Baylor wins. Memphis wins. Notre Dame in a close matchup beating Michigan State. They remain undefeated. Texas beats UTEP a little too closely. Arizona State crushes UNLV. Tua Warrior and company take out their anger on the Rebels, who made the playoffs a year ago. Iowa State narrowly beats Bowling Green, who's 0-3. They only beat them by 5. Tulane throttles Wake Forest. Oklahoma has scored 104 points in their last 2 games. Miami beats Clemson. The Tigers are now 0-2 and unranked. Colorado's undefeated. Texas Tech shuts out undefeated Arizona. They improve to 3-0. TCU beats SMU. A bunch of teams now with 2 to 3 losses that started the year ranked. Florida International is a juggernaut team. They look like they're going to be good again. Austin Mack dominates in Boise State's first win of the year. Oh my! Temple goes to Penn State and beats them. The Owls knock off the Nittany Lions. Temple acts like that's their Super Bowl. Temple and Penn State is supposed to be a huge rivalry. It's a big rivalry in other sports, not really in football, because Temple considers it their Super Bowl, and Penn State could not care less. Well, now it's going to be one of the most heated rivalries the next time these two face, because Temple goes to Happy Valley and knocks off the Nittany Lions. That's crazy. And then Bama, Ohio State was cinema. Absolute cinema. Florida's struggling, man. They stink. They're actually kind of bad now. Either way, let's look at this title card matchup. Alabama's 3-0. They're the number 2 team in the country. And they beat Ohio State in overtime. George Yancey was pretty good. Yeah, he was really good. And then on the other side, Dylan Raiola continues to be great. He's by far the Heisman favorite. And it's not even really close. Then, yeah, Colton Joseph, Micah Hudson, Tyler Chambers, and Bodkin Miller. Okay. But either way, let's look at some of the title matchups of this week. This week, Iowa State, West Virginia. We see some conference play starting. Cal at Duke ought to be fun. Oklahoma Vanderbilt's interesting. One I'm going to watch is Northwestern. They're ranked now, going to Colorado. Colorado's undefeated. Give me the Buffaloes in this one to get a ranked victory. UCF hosting Pittsburgh. One thing I did do in the only realignment of this offseason, last offseason was, of course, the real-life Pac-12 with the real-life Mountain West movements, and then also I added Louisiana Tech replacing Texas State spot in the SBC. Now, in this year of realignment, I just switched. USF, they dipped for the ACC because the Big 12 is going to add SMU. After some great years in the ACC, they warrant a move to the Big 12. UCF flops over to the ACC in kind of the wake of things, as the ACC needed a replacement. Penn State at Oregon, things are not looking too good for Penn State. They need a win here. A couple of super disappointing teams, Georgia Tech and Louisville, have both been bad. Georgia Tech was bad last year, but they did just play a close game against Notre Dame. I feel like Hawaii, oh my God, they play some crazy schedule. Washington, Nebraska's fun. Auburn at Toledo. We know Toledo, what they can do to these SEC schools. SMU at Kansas ought to be fun. Temple hosting Tulsa, coming off of the biggest win in program history. And then Indiana going on the road against a ranked UCLA squad. UCLA, again, their quarterback room is god-awful. It's the worst in college football, worse than Delaware State. But oh my goodness, if they were to get that win, it'd be crazy. USC Ohio State is one of the title matches, but of course, our game is the biggest. Number 1 ranked Trojans going to Ohio State. The Buckeyes just hosted Alabama. They literally just played Bama. Now they have to play the reigning national champions and number 1 ranked Trojans, led by Marcel Reed. A battle of transfer QBs. Reed coming over from Arkansas to USC, and Raiola coming over from Nebraska to Ohio State. Give me the Buckeyes win a big upset here. I just don't see a world where they fall to 2-2 to start the year. They're so talented. Clemson at Stanford, battle of winless teams. Yeah, this is a must-win for Clemson. If you lose this, everyone's going to be on the hot seat. I don't even know who's your coach now because I feel like Dabo left for Alabama, and then Lane Kiffin came for a year and then left for the NFL. So don't you have like Brian Kelly now? I'd have to check. Ole Miss in Florida is interesting. Give me Ole Miss, actually. On the road in the swamp. Florida's been very disappointing this year. Give me the Rebels in a nice win. Arkansas at Alabama, battle of the unbeatens. I'd love to see Hoss Haney and company go in there and get a big win. But Alabama is just so good. Give me Alabama. And then you've got Baylor, Texas Tech, rivalry matchup. Ranked battle. Ought to be fun. And then Florida State, Boston College in the Tommy Castellanos Bowl. Give me Texas. Yeah, then you got Texas A&M. Us at South Carolina. Number 8 against number 4. That's the big matchup of the week. College game day is going to be there. This is the second time that College game day's been to this matchup in this series. The last time this battle was held in Kyle Field, it happened. And last year, we played them as close as it gets. They were up big, and then we came all the way back, but they barely were able to beat us in overtime. This year, we're playing with that chip on our shoulders. We want to win. We want to win this game bad. Because these guys, we hate them. They don't have Lenore Sellers anymore. They got a new guy. We have our guy, Eli Holstein, for the foreseeable future. And we want to beat these guys up. As for the recruiting trail, still want Nico Mateo and company. Denzel Wiley is not looking good. We need to get him on a visit soon. Same thing with Levi Noel. We are going to hard sell him, but from Winter Park, Florida, he's really looking at Georgia and Miami's offers a lot more than he's looking at ours. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. But we do have an incredible pitch. A-, A+, A+ for Noel. Let's hope that'll give us the edge to get back in this battle against the Bulldogs and the Hurricanes. Kiki Mamula, another Florida lineman. Another Florida tackle who we're trying to bring in. I think we have a better chance of landing him. Yeah, we're significantly ahead of both Miami and Mizzou for this guy. David Fasano. Let me schedule you on a hard sell. We are second behind Oklahoma. The Sooners really like him. As of recently, they've been hard selling him up their offer. Shakir Rawls, we're behind TCU, who's weirdly stealing all my players. D-tackle Eric Mance doesn't like our playing style. Well, he can get off the freaking board. Josh Hodges, the 5-star linebacker, likes us. Mohamed Indonesia, the bust Mike linebacker, also likes us. Forrest Bragg is ready to hard sell. He is a great corner, the #1 player in the country, actually. Super excited to come and let him ball out. We're battling with Bill Belichick in North Carolina, also battling with Miami. NC State and Louisville are technically in the battle, so he wants to go to the ACC if he doesn't come here. However, we're continuing that Florida pipeline and hoping to rattle him in. Najee McCollum, we're behind USC and Oregon. I'm going to try and bring him in week 7. That's a lot of hours to spend, but I just have to have him in. And then same thing, Zach Tiffin. We are looking better on him. I'm also going to hard sell Najee McCollum because he looks so good from Inglewood, California. He's got a great name. This is the kind of guy I want on my team. We're really building our pipelines in California and Florida this year. I mean, we were, going after the traditional best prospects in Texas like usual. But just the fact that we're also going after a lot of Florida guys, a lot of California guys, bodes well for us, I think, because I want to branch out our pipelines, keep them broad. Nicholas Fontus, we can't bring him in because he is a little too expensive. Wiley was the guy. Yeah, Wiley was going to be the guy for us. Bring him in for championship contender, and then we'll remove. Okay, yeah, all right. We're just chilling here. We're going to play this game against South Carolina because they were just... Okay. Yeah, we are better than them overall-wise. We're going to we're going to Columbia, South Carolina. It's going to be a hostile environment. They're ranked 4th in the nation. They were inches away from winning the conference last year. They made the playoffs last year. They were the first team out both the 2 years before that. They had Lenore Sellers. Oh, that's champion. And here we are, out onto the field, 2nd and 7, Eli Holstein. Here's the give, Amani Ogba, 1st down and more. Amani Ogba on the RPO gets plenty of yards. This team did lose a lot. You lose Gabe Brownlow-Denby, you lose Nick Harbor, you lose Lenore Sellers in the draft. That one was caught by Bussey. Bussey's able to haul it in. He had a career game last week. Holstein snaps it. Quick screen pass for Ogba. Spin move, and he will get close. 3rd and 1 is where they will spot it. And as you can see, this stadium is getting loud. Ogba's tackled from behind. It's a loss of 3. Jair Johnson with the tackle, and near midfield, we're going to go. 4th down and about 4. Celeste Miles makes the grab, and he reaches but won't get it. Mike Elko, with the hands facing his palms as we send this D-line up. Face up against A.J. Brand and company. They didn't do much, so we're going to get it back now. Here they go. Holstein has got a quarterback scramble. Spin move got somebody, even though he went the wrong way. Picks up a 1st down. Ohio State, I did predict they do knock off USC by a touchdown. Here's a lob pass going up for Bussey. He can't get it. Clemson blows out Stanford. They finally get their 1st win of the year. Like I said, that is a must-win game for the Tigers. You want to win that, things are going to look bad. Here's Cordell Russell picking up 7 on a really good bounce. So far, the battle's been pretty even between Eli Holstein and A.J. Brand. Here's the pitch. Amani Ogba gets the first down and more. Juke move. Won't get much, but it'll be enough. 4 carries, 33 yards so far for Ogba. Bannon coming out with a similar look here. They'll run the same thing. Holstein fumbles it. Ogba's going to pick it up. Uh-oh. He's tackled for a loss of 27. Oh my God. Please do not tell me that counts towards the stands. This one is going to be dropped by Bussey. It'll be 3rd and 37. Oh, Christ. There's a lob. Cordell Russell makes the grab. We convert 3rd and 37. That's massive. Here's the give. Amani Ogba is going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. Okay, it didn't count towards the stats, thank goodness. Amani Ogba scores, and nothing going for A.J. Brand and company, so we'll get it back here on the road, trying to improve to 3-0. Holstein, the throw, incomplete, intended for Cordell Russell. Doesn't go near the target. So we'll go right back to the run game here. Amani Ogba, stiff arms a man. Still tries to power forward. He only gets a yard. So it brings up 3rd and 9. Redshirt freshman doing his thing. Hit as he throws. He was trying to get it to Isaiah Williams on the corner route. There's Ume Osulu in on the pressure. And our defense continues to play well. How about this squad down? Just doing their thing. Here's Ogba. He'll pick up a lot. 8 yards for Amani. 7 carries, 52 so far today. We've been running the ball all over South Bend. Holstein. Play action. They bit. They'll scramble out. It's going to be the first down. And the Aggies move the chains yet again. Holstein, the snap, the give. Ogba will get 5. Not a bad game there. And we continue to look in control here. Giving it back to Ogba. The blocking has been amazing. How about our run blocking today? Amani Ogba, 9 carries, 75 yards. He is torching South Carolina right now. Holstein snaps it, scrambles out immediately. On the run for Cordell Russell, makes the grab, breaks the tackle. Russell, off to the races. Cordell Russell with a highlight move. That's a first-round pick if I've seen it right there. Cordell Russell makes a catch, breaks a tackle, jukes out a 3-man mob of South Carolina defenders, and turns up for the touchdown. Gives it to a little kid in the crowd wearing the ring. Oh my God, what a play. South Carolina does respond with a score. Isaiah Williams now. He makes a Moss catch, and he'll pick up the first down yet again. A.J. Brand and Eli Holstein both putting on a show today. Here's the give. Ogba trying to get outside. Got hung up behind the center of Fua. So it will be 2nd and 11. And we've just been able to throw the ball deep so effectively today. It makes me not want to go away from it. Here they snap it. Bussey this time gets it deep. Can he create the separation? He can. These guys stink. South Carolina gives up a bomb. And Texas A&M is now up by multiple scores on the road against a top 5 team. This may not be as good of a roster as we had last year, but boy, way more discipline, more experience. There's a jet touch pass for Williams. He will not get in. No game there for Isaiah. Desmond Sewell has been all over the field today. I think he's probably going to be the highest drafted player out of this South Carolina group. Oh my God, Amani Ogba, spin move. I thought he could have been off to the races for a touchdown there. However, he gets it out to the 15 with that nice carry. He's got hung up by one guy. I don't know. Not the ball. Here's the give. It's Ogba. We will only get one. Tyler Johnson with the tackle. Holstein steps back, rolls out, gets it to Cordell Russell. Russell breaking several tackles, injuring players, doing everything he possibly can to fight for more yardage, and he's rewarded. It will be 3rd and 6. Russell, zoom in, but they're both behind him. Can he come down with it? He can. It's batted away. We will... Oh my God, we got it right back. Interception by Rashad Johnson, his 2nd of the season. How about that? As you can see, A.J. Brand starting to falter. Here's Keody Armstrong picking up the first. We will hurry things up. Armstrong will block on this play. Holstein, the snap. He's got to roll out. He doesn't like the look. He'll throw it away. Colorado State upsets Wisconsin. Hello. Okay. Both those teams are pretty shitty. NC State cooks Wake Forest. I was wrong about Wake Forest possibly being good again. Come on, Russell. And he can't make the grab. That was an app that could have been another dime in the back of the end zone. They're just throwing it deep at this point. Russell on the opposite side of the field. They read it well, but Holstein's going to step up and run. They'll pick up a good dip, 4th and 2. We'll kick a field goal and make it a 17-point lead, even though we didn't make it, apparently. Alright, we're going to lose a yard there with them on the button. Now we're going to roll for a quick slants play with those fullbacks. Oh my goodness, Bussey breaks a tackle. Terry Bussey picks up 9. That went from nothing into something. From Holstein to Bussey. Give it to the redshirt freshman Amani Ogba. We don't get anything. 4th and 2 now. We'll go. I'm confident in this roster. These blockers up front. He paved the way for Amani Ogba, but they're saying he didn't get there. 2-yard run. We needed 2 yards. It remains 21-7. We will get it back eventually. We've dominated everything. Time of possession. Everything in the world. Here we snap at Holstein. Scrambling. Pitches it back to Amani Ogba. He gets right back to about where Holstein was when he pitched it. Here we go. Holstein rolling out. They'll throw it away. As saw those guys come to see Mike Elko puts that home to the face. Seeing that Holstein had no time for that football. And we blocked everyone in the field except the receivers. Here, Jair Johnson's going to get in. Holstein sacked for an 8-yard loss. And the Cox get it back. They will make it an 11-point game. Here's a quick pass over the middle. It's Bussey. The Aggies will run hurry up. Holstein, play action, the scramble. Oh my! I meant to eyeball that. That was almost disastrous. 3rd and 3. You can hear this crowd turning up. Amani Ogba on the carry. He's going to get the first. Good game by Amani Ogba. who's got 95 yards rushing today. Chris Holstein, quarterback wrap, spinning, revealing to get one. Here we screen it for DeAndre Ryden, who's going to lose 3 on the screen pass. Jair Johnson tackled him for a loss. He's been amazing today. Looked the part of like a first-round pick. There's a quick pass, caught by Ryden. From the 47, we will go. Holstein looking to quiet this crowd. It's caught by Miles. First down, Aggies. Celeste Miles moves the chains for Texas A&M. Here's the snap. Holstein scramble out. He's faster. Let's go. Holstein, plenty of room to run. Didn't get the block there. Let's dive down. This will be the final play of the third. Ryden with a juke move. He'll get like 3. We'll go to the fourth. Up 21-10. In control against the number 4 ranked team in the country. And of course, in South Carolina fashion, they're going to start blasting Sandstorm to solve all their problems. DeAndre Ryden is going to walk in for the score. Texas A&M with another one. Ryden this time gets in for, I think, at least his 3rd score of the year. They convert on 4th. Here on 4th and 1, we'll jump in. Actually, never mind. And it is good. It'll be 28-13 as South Carolina is very, very close, but also very, very far from where we are right now. 1st and 10. We lead by 2 possessions. On the throw, it's caught by Miles. Ole Miss and Florida in a close battle. Like I said, Gators have been struggling. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the Rebels pull off an upset, and the Gamecocks are going to jump on this one and take it back. We go from 28-10 to 28-20 in the snap. At the blink of an eye. Oh my God. South Carolina jumps on a fumble. They take it back for the score, and all of a sudden, this is a one-possession game. Ryden bouncing it out. He's been the main back ever since the start of the 4th quarter. He's done a great job. Whenever he's not the main guy, it seems like he does well. Oh my God, Bussey is so open. Please don't. He caught it in stride, celebrates to the end zone. Texas A&M back on top. 64-yard bomb from Holstein to Bussey. We get it back. We're up 35-20. Looks like Holstein's hurt, so Hawkins is in the game. Mike Hawkins on the quarterback wrap. Mike Hawkins takes off and shows off his wheels. How about Hawkins all the way to the end zone? A 25-yard touchdown run on the design QB run. That's what Mike Hawkins does best, run the football. South Carolina's going to score back, get the 2-point conversion. They're back within a touchdowns, or within 2 touchdowns length here. Another QB design run for Hawkins. Oh my God, Mike Hawkins, who's going to catch him? Another huge chunk play on the ground for our backup QB. Here's the give for Ryden. We've run the ball so well against these guys. Here we pick up 9 today. Hawkins, the snap, the give to Ryden. Juke move, get there, reaching, touchdown Aggies. DeAndre Ryden in the end zone for the 2nd time today. And we are up now 49-28. And that's going to be the game. 49-28 your final score. We knocked off 4th-ranked South Carolina. I'm anxious to see what the injury to Eli Holstein brings, but it was a good QB matchup. A.J. Brand obviously continues to be a pure runner. He's not the best throwing football. Holstein is great. Running the ball for us, Ogbo was great. Ryden came in, he had 2 scores. Hawkins had those 2 super long carries. Then for South Carolina, Jawarren Howell was very good. The elusive bruiser came out and played really well, over 100 yards rushing. Bussey had his 2nd straight career day. Cordell Russell was good again. For South Carolina, it was Malik Clark leading the way. Blocking, they were really good. And for us, Lamont Rogers, Mark Nadu, Jody Armstrong, all great games blocking. And then defensively, we beasted. Bassick with 2 sacks, January with a sack. And Solomon Williams got an TFL, and Rashad Johnson Jr. picked off Mr. A.J. Brand. So all of a sudden, we're 3-0. We've knocked off the number 12 ranked Clemson at the time and number 4 ranked South Carolina. And certainly, we're feeling ourselves like we're about to be ranked in the top 5. I also think we have like Georgia next week. I know we play Georgia, Alabama, Florida, all like near each other. We just lost a ton of players. We're 4th in the country right now. And it's time to see, we play at New Mexico. It's like a weird game this week. It's time to see what kind of parity we got last week. Nebraska falls against Washington. Obviously, the post-Dylan Raiola era not looking as nice. USF is undefeated. Northern Illinois, on the other hand, is pretty bad. They're 0-5. Florida narrowly beats Ole Miss. They remain in the playoff picture. UCLA wallops Indiana. Oh my God, I didn't know it was possible to score that many points with such a low-rated quarterback. They upset top 10 ranked Hoosiers. San Jose State loses by 7 every game, no matter who they play. Auburn loses to Toledo. I'm telling you, Toledo Giant Killers. And then Maryland hands Illinois their first loss. Temple remains undefeated after the big win. We got the win. SMU gets back in the winning side of things. Penn State! Oh my God, they're back from the dead. They lose to Temple at home, and then they go to Autzen Stadium and knock off the Ducks. Pittsburgh's ranked in the top 10 after a win over UCF. USC and Ohio State find themselves both with 1 loss after the Buckeye victory. Oklahoma continues to score 50 points a game. Northwestern, their defense shows out against Juju Lewis, and they remain undefeated in the rankings. Arkansas loses to Alabama. The Tide are now the number 1 team in the country. Baylor beats Texas Tech. They're back in the rankings. The Red Raiders fall out. Boston College, Florida State. If you told somebody that this was going to be a 51-45 game, they would say you're crazy. Well, it was. Lots of offensive fireworks. BYU has been very good, bouncing back since that loss to a Group of 5 team. Duke with a nice close win, but a win nonetheless. And then just some more Group of 5 games. Michigan beats Purdue. And then Boise State. Bro, Austin Mack continues to cook for this Boise State offense. Austin Mack is so good. He's going to be the number 1 pick. He's going to be the number 1 pick. As for our team, we've been doing pretty nicely. Holstein, and then at quarterback, and the duo of Ryden and Ogba at running back have both been very similar. Cordell Russell, Terry Bussey have been doing very well as well. And then defensively, Colton Bassick has turned into a nice player, as have all of our corners and safeties. We're going to play one more game. And it's going to be the game at New Mexico. I know this is a weird matchup. We should win this game by 50. We're going to remove some guys from our board. Like, we want Jose Carruthers. And if TCU seals this guy, I would be devastated. We want to bring him over from Bel Air, Texas. Colleyville, Texas is Glenn Stye. We are still on the lead on. Lead on Nicholas Fontus. TCU has the lead on Nico Mateo, which is not fun. Nico Mateo, this is the guy I want the most. To be honest, out of any player in the class, I want Nico Mateo the most. Eric Casey is here. Yeah. Denzel Wiley did not commit. Levi Noel. Kiki Mamula. Yep. We did not get Shakir Rawls. Probably going to get one of these guys. Mohamed Indonesia. We're just going to send the house. Same thing with Ben Maldonado. Send the house. Corners, we did not get Najee McCollum. Hopefully we get the rest of these guys like Zach Tiffin, Amani Omiale, and Forrest Bragg. Free safety will start the selling on Chauncey Etienne. Maybe not sending the house. We're battling with Bill Belichick at North Carolina, and we're also battling with NC State. He's a guy from Nashville, Tennessee. Seems like he wants to stay close to home, but we are in first place for him. We're going to schedule some more visits. Nicholas Fontus is going to come in for playing time against Georgia, which I believe is next week. Amani Omiale is going to come in week 7 against Florida. We'll do brand exposure for him. I'll do Zach Tiffin week 7. Talk about championship contender. Do David Fasano week 7. Talk about conference prestige. I need to do Levi Noel week 8. Talk about championship contender. And then why not bring in Glenn Stye week 8. Championship contender. Mohamed Indonesia week 9. Conference prestige, and that's going to be it. All right. Time to look at who all's up on the docket for this week around the country. Some fun games to watch. I immediately see Cal at Miami. Cal played a close game against Duke. Maybe they do something against Miami. I doubt it. FAU could easily upset Mizzou. Mizzou is so bad. Interesting matchup down here. Kansas at Boise State. Kansas is on a 2-game losing streak, and we know how good Austin Mack is. South Carolina coming off that loss to us, going to Kentucky could get fuzzy. Nebraska and Minnesota in a nice game could be interesting. Auburn just lost to Toledo. Now they're going to Arkansas. Give me the Razorbacks. I think Arkansas got that. Buffalo at Kent State is interesting. Indiana up against Ohio State, top 15 battle. Both teams with 1 loss. Indiana with a blowout loss to UCLA, and Ohio State with a non-conference loss to Alabama. Give me the Buckeyes to get the win here. They've hosted 3 straight top 15 teams. I think it was inevitable that they were going to go 2-1. Oklahoma and Florida, give me the Sooners on the road. Oklahoma's been rolling, scoring like 50 points a game. Yeah, give me the Sooners. Also, Texas Tech at Cincy. Red Raiders want to get back in the rankings with this one against the Bearcats. North Carolina at Pitt. Pitt is ranked 8th. They're undefeated. UNC is 3-1. I think this game could give us some fireworks. Oops. Penn State at USC. Penn State just played giant killer for Oregon, even though they lost to giant killing Temple. The big game of the week, though, is number 1 Alabama against number 2 Georgia. That is the title card match that I'm excited to see how to play it out. We're playing against New Mexico right now. We're going to wear just our regular aways with the maroon helmet, and they will wear that. The Lobos are awful. They are genuinely terrible. We should be able to do whatever we want whenever we want against these guys, and it should be an absolute bloodbath. We're on the road, which is weird, but it's just how the scheduling works. We needed another road game, so we're going to be on the road. We immediately get the ball because they could not do anything passing or rushing. Here we go. Holstein snap, lobbing it for Bussey. Make the catch, touchdown. That should be every play. Terry Bussey's in the end zone for a 36-yard score. The defense clutches up yet again. We'll see what we can do here on this play. Holstein, team captain. On the run, they'll pitch it out. Amani Ogba outspeeds. Here he goes. Amani Ogba off to the races. Moving down the chains here at this high school stadium against New Mexico. The Lobos are 3-1. I mean, as much crap as I'm giving them, they have won some games this year. They beat their rivals, New Mexico State. And they're having a better year than they thought they would. Ryden comes in a running back. Holstein to snap it. It's a quick pass for Williams, who will go all the way for another touchdown. The jet touch pass works to perfection. Holstein all of a sudden is 69 yards today. 2 of 2 passing. New Mexico moving the ball down the field. They will settle for a punt. With 3:24 to play in the first, we're going to get it back. Holstein changing the play at the line. Scrambles out. Says screw it. Gets it to Williams, who makes the grab. No, he doesn't. Last second, it's jarred away by the defender. 2nd and 10 now for Holstein. And already leading 14 zilch. 3rd and 5 now. Holstein snaps it. Gets it to Miles. First down, Aggies. They're just humming down the field right now. Not really anything that New Mexico can do about it. Here we are. That one's down the field, caught by Galloway. Javier Galloway, one of the buried on the depth chart guys, even getting in. Here we'll move around. Another open man. It's caught by Bussey. Everyone's just standing around butt naked open as we continue to throw the ball, just moving down the field. And yeah, boom, Keoti Armstrong, never mind. That was a terrible throw. Holstein just misses the mark there. Add the touchdown to Armstrong. Now we'll try and run it into Ogba from the 7. We give it to him, and he will break a tackle down to the 1 for Amani Ogba. Cordell Russell in the end zone makes the catch. And that's 3 passing scores here in just the first quarter for Eli Holstein. And at the end of the first quarter, we're up 21 zilch, folks. This is going to be a bloodbath. Holstein, play action, he'll roll out. To scramble, he'll pick up the first and then get pushed out of bounds after a nice little gain. Holstein, changing the play at the left. Here he'll scramble. Had the open man. Now he goes for the slant to Cordell Russell, who makes the grab. First down, Aggies. Up-tempo offense. Holstein scrambling is sacked. Cordarian Powell got in the corner on the DB blitz. The nickel comes in and makes the tackle for a huge loss, 2nd and 10. Ogba spins the wrong way, gets no gain after the halfback screen. Here we're going to rock with a deep pass play. Williams over the middle is open, but Holstein's going to miss the pass. And we'll try a 61-yard field goal, because why not with our left kicker. And it's up, and it's going to be way no good. Not even close to the mark. Audible at the line. Holstein snaps it. Here's the give for Ogba. Unblocked rusher comes in and brings the tackle. As Ogba's going to lose 3, it's now 2nd and 13. Holstein snaps it. He'll throw it deep. Braylon Russell. I keep saying Braylon. It's Cordell. Cordell Russell won't come to it. Another incompletion. 3rd and 13. Holstein stepping up. Gets caught up on his lineman. He'll only get a yard. He'll have to punt it away. We're yet to score here in the second quarter. We're just about halfway through it here against New Mexico State. We do have 9 first downs to their 2. Play action. Here comes the blitz. On the run for Russell. He makes the grab. Hurry up offense for the Aggies. As Cordell Russell moves the chains, gets a little dance. As, New Mexico, they sent the blitz. We were able to fend them off. Nice juke by Ogba. He might go here. Amani Ogba over the middle of the field. It's going to be a huge gain of 27 for the redshirt freshman running back. Holstein changing the play at the line. They'll run backwards. Oh my. Throwing it away is Holstein. Pass rush came quick. He's 9 of 14 passing. Has looked deep quite often. Expecting to do so until it stops working. Cordell Russell's open. He'll make the grab and walk into the end zone. Touchdown Aggies. It's a 28-0 lead here before halftime. We're going to get it back as Terry Bussey with a nice punt return. There we are. Holstein. The give to Ogba. Spin move gets 2. He'll pick up 9 on the play. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. New Mexico and Texas A&M here in Albuquerque has been very one-sided. We're up 28-0. Fans are already leaving the stadium. Here's Amani Ogba with another nice move. He's got 8 carries for 89 yards today. He's just locked in to a whole nother level right now. Holstein, the snap. The lob pass. Bussey's open. He'll make the grab and score the touchdown. 35-0. Oh my. We might beat these guys by 80. We legitimately are going to take the backups and the starters out of the game after the first drive of the second half. 35-0. This will be the last drive for the starters. Holstein snaps at the give to Amani Ogba. Juke move. He's been lethal today. He's now over the century mark for the first time in his career. And he's only taken 9 carries to do so. Quarterback wrap play. Holstein keeps it. He'll get 1. Here's the snap. Lob pass for Russell. Can't get it. Holstein got hit as he threw. Almost bad news there. Here's the snap. 3rd and 9. He'll scramble. The pass intended for Isaiah Williams falls incomplete. We'll go for it just because it's the last drive with the starters. Like, why not? Just goof around. And Holstein's hit as he throws. That ball was intended for Isaiah Williams. We're going to get it back. And it's time for coaching mass sub backups here in the early third quarter. We're trying to stay fresh here on the road. We got Georgia, Alabama, and Florida within the next few weeks. Might as well just let our backups play. DeAndre Ryden in a little reverse here. He picks up the first down. The running back gets 12 or 10. And we also have the speedy QB, Mike Hawkins, who started a few games at Oklahoma his freshman year in 2024. Now here in the year 2027, he is our backup QB. Last week he had 50 yards rushing. Today he makes a dot for 24 yards. Oh, we do get to see LaBelle the freshman, in on the play. And Hawkins is picked off. He's trying to get it to LaBelle there, but it's intercepted by Ike Esonwune. We do get it back. Third quarter, 4:47 left to play. Hawkins with the snap. He'll roll out. We know he's deadly fast. Going it for Tristan Norman. That one was nearly intercepted as well. You can tell Hawkins is just chucking it up. Got a care in the world. He's on the field. That's what matters. Hawkins, quick pass, wide open, is LaBelle for the first catch of his career. Raphael Biggers, the freshman and the running back. Here's the play action. Wide open downfield is, who was that? Wait. Oh, that was George Mandarino, the freshman. Hawkins passes it for Norman, who makes the grab. Hawkins' passes have been all over the place today. Norman able to corral that one. Here's LaBelle, wide open on the sideline, turns around and makes a highlight catch. The true freshman trying to work his way up the depth chart makes a crazy grab. Hawkins lobbing it up. Norman makes the catch. Touchdown, Aggies. It's going to be 42 zilch. As Tristan Norman with a 43-yard score. 101v1 later? Not really. Hawkins, he'll roll out. He now turns it up. Not really many quarterbacks in college football can do that. Just stop and then go from zero to outspeeding a Mike linebacker. But Mike Hawkins can't. He's that good. Here's a lob past Norman again. Can he get to it? He can. Tristan Norman has been sucking in these balls recently. Just in garbage time. 3 catches, 99 yards. And that's all been with the backups in. First down and the touchdown for DeAndre Ryden. He walks in for another score. That's his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. As we go to the fourth quarter, up 49 zilch. Backups still playing well. And Hawkins with the insta-sack. Play action. Couldn't get anything going. Now, I see LaBelle and Mandarino, the 2 true freshman 4-stars. I want to get it to one of them. George Mandarino gets open. And he makes the grab. Mandarino, the 73 overall freshman, likely getting redshirted after this game. He is the only, he's the lowest rated wide receiver on the squad. He just made a crazy catch over the shoulder of the defender, moving the chains. Hawkins throwing some dots here, but mainly the receivers are the ones who look like they're making the highlight reel plays. Hawkins over the middle, that one's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7. It's a 47-yarder for Tyler White. Here goes Hawkins. He'll run. Plenty of room. Plenty of speed. And he will get out at the 1. 1st and goal now for Hawkins. Hawkins on the lead option. He'll give it to Ryden, who's in for another score. 6 rushing touchdowns this season for DeAndre Ryden. New Mexico gets it back. Now I'm not going to play any defense anymore this game just because of how far we're ahead. Raphael Biggers in at running back, the true freshman. Okay, so we didn't hand it off. We'll sub Cornell Hemcroft. See what we have in here. There's a lob pass. And, oh my gosh, though, LaBelle almost made the catch. We have been crazy stat-wise today. Cornell Hemcroft's going to come in. Hawkins passes it, caught by LaBelle. We'll punt it away. Oh my God, they got points. A 49-yard field goal puts New Mexico on the board. It's 56-3. Hawkins in a QB. This will be his last play. We will go to Gregory Ginn. We'll go to Gregory Ginn here. Here's the give. Anthrop will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. So Gregory Ginn gets his first playing time. The redshirt freshman, former 4-star, a nice offseason. Here's the give. Cornell Anthrop. Plenty of room to run for the redshirt freshman. A lot of these young guys who we remember recruiting as low-end 4-stars now getting on the field. Redshirt freshman. Duke hands Clemson their 3rd loss. Oh, God. Okay. So Gregory Ginn loses his hot pocket and turns it over. Cordarian Powell, who's made some nice plays today. New Mexico's actually going to get a touchdown. My goodness. I like LaBelle here. What difficulty am I playing on? Heisman. Hawkins rolls out and gets it to Norman. 9. Oh, it's Ginn. My bad. Ginn rolls out and gets it. Ginn and Hawkins look so alike. Kind of crazy. If they come out in that same coverage, I'll still throw the ball. Gregory Ginn snaps it. Sets his feet, fires, and it's intended for Callaway. I like Anthrop here to get the first down for us. Ginn gives it. Cornell Anthrop. He will not get it. 4th and inches. Will keep the offense on the field, of course. That's why I hope that we not. Anthrop still in at running back. He gets the handoff and picks up plenty for the first down. Didn't mean to run up tempo, but we will. Again, snap. Ah, you're joking, man. Gregory Ginn picked off for the first time in his career. Not a great first look for our 3rd-string QB. But, I mean, also, we're just messing around right now. Like, we're up by a ton. Trying to get some of these younger guys some playing time. Here we go. Don't get hurt. Get Biggers. I want to see Biggers play some more. Here's Anthrop. He'll lose a yard. This game is over. 56-10. We took the starters out at halftime, and we still crushed these guys. Huge win for the Aggies. Eli Holstein, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Hawkins came in, threw for 210 yards randomly. 9 yards for Gregory Ginn. Rushing, Ogba had limited time to break. Cornell Anthrop came in. We had Ryden come in, get 2 rushing scores. Receiving, Norman in limited time. Cordell Russell, Bussey. Dylan Galloway. How about Dylan Galloway? 64 yards. George Mandarino with a 51-yard bomb. He's redshirting. Max LaBelle is here. He looked nice. Williams had a nice touchdown. And then no drops today. No sacks given up either. Lamont Rogers continues to play great at right tackle. 2.5 sacks for Colton Vasek. Alex January, the usual suspects. Hello. Montre Chafuka, I told you guys to watch out for him. Dog. Colton Vasek continues to be our best player defensively, as he is a leader on this defense. As we improve to 4-0, that's going to be, I think, where I'm going to end this episode. We'll take a look at the rest of the nation, what happened last week. But then I think that's going to be the end of the episode. We are going to get some commits. Glenn Stye, the running back. We lose out on some more guys. No, Jose Carruthers commits to TCU. We do move up to 3rd. And, of course, we play number 1 Georgia. Because apparently Georgia did beat Alabama. I'm seeing some more parity as I saw another top 10 team got upset. Week 5, though, what did it bring us? Temple is ranked. Rightfully so. They're so good. Nationally broadcasted games, you look at Colorado is now up to 4-1. Mizzou gets a win. That's surprising. Kentucky does not get the win over South Carolina. The Gamecocks bounce back. Boise State, narrow win over Kansas. Austin Mack is shaping up to be the clear-cut, obvious #1 pick. Auburn beats Arkansas. I thought the Razorbacks were going to have that one. Auburn bounces back. BYU has been very stellar since week 0. Ohio State handles business. Iowa State handles business. They remain undefeated. Oklahoma loses to Florida. The Gators have played well since that one loss. And then Pitt gets knocked off by Bill Belichick's UNC squad. Alabama gets rolled on by Georgia. The Bulldogs are by far the best team in the country. Texas continues to win. They're undefeated. Sitting at number 2. All the top 3 schools are all SEC teams. With number 1, Georgia, number 2, Texas, number 3, us. Just taking a look at the rankings right now. Yeah, and then you got Duke at the 4 spot. They've solidified themselves as not just a basketball blue blood, but also a football program that could be looking to get a big-time conference invite soon, since they are 28-1 in the regular season of this series so far. USC, the reigning champs at 5. Rounding out the list here, you got some other schools. Tennessee's undefeated. They got a nice win. And then towards the bottom, 2-2 Indiana still being ranked is a little bit questionable. But it is what it is. Dropping out of the rankings are Northwestern, Baylor, and Nebraska. Northwestern is barely out of the rankings, though. I could definitely see them coming back in soon. Because they're a scrappy squad. As for our team's stats, a third of the way through the regular season, Holstein is dealing. His 1 interception this year was not that bad. I mean, it was a wide-open Terry Bussey that he just barely underthrew, and the safety read it so well. Amani Ogba's been great at running back. DeAndre Ryden's been a good complement. He's scored 6 times running the football. Receiving, Russell and Bussey have both been amazing. Russell looks the part of a near first-round pick. Bussey is a scrappy player as well. Blocking, we've been much better this year. Ponton sucks, just like he did last year at Texas Tech. Everyone else has been pretty good, though, especially Lamont Rogers. Huge shout-out to him. Colton Vasek has been our best defensive player. And then leading the way in tackles is Xavier Brown, Jalen Braxton. I told you guys Demontre Trapuco was going to be a dog, and he's been pretty good as well. The thumper from Overland Park, Kansas. Tyler White's been a shitty kicker, but he's been a good punter. So do with that what you will. Either way, that's where I'm going to end this episode today. Hope you guys enjoyed.